Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. We're super, super excited about this live show tonight. If you haven't already seen them, my special guests tonight are the ATL Flippers. I'm going to just make it plural. We have Derek and Jasmine with us tonight. So this is going to be like a 2-for-1 because, we were talking before, maybe his good, bad, and ugly are not the same as hers. So if you guys tuned in last week, we just kind of catapult off of the topic and start talking about all things eBay and being able to get you guys information to make your stores better. And then there's so many good points made in the chat also, and you guys have a ton of questions. So you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to everybody if for some reason they have not subscribed to you yet, and I'll go back and put your channel in the description also.
Awesome.
Cool.
So my name is Derek, also known as the ATL Flipper. We're full-time resellers.
Yeah.
And I've been reselling for 2 years full-time.
Yeah, and my name is Jasmine. I'm recently coming on the team, doing full-time with my husband. So I've been the behind-the-scenes ATL Flipper, I think.
Yeah.
I've been there since the beginning, but I think just now coming supporting with my husband full-time. But I've been there since the beginning, but, kind of taking a more front seat role. So.
And this is actually our first live together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there was not a chance, sorry, Derek, that I was going to ask you on without asking Jasmine too.
Thank you, Rachel.
Because I just love the chemistry that you bring into the videos. Like sometimes it's hard just talking to like that third wall, talking to the camera, and like I don't feel like I struggle with it so much, but sometimes it can be difficult. So when you have someone literally beside you to play off of you, that's like not camera shy. While we're yeah, no, she's not camera shy at all, and she kind of puts you in your place sometimes too.
Yeah, she's taking over, guys.
Oh yes,
I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm glad you know that. Yeah. He hasn't said that, Rachel. So this is big news.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Write that down.
Is that a replay? What?
You can always go back.
This will be posted.
I'm not saying that again.
Okay, but the people heard it.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and say hi while we're waiting because I know YouTube sometimes doesn't push out those notifications. So we want everyone to have some chance to jump on. Dreaming on a Budget is here. Now, this guy is a great Instagram friend of mine. Are you guys friends as well over on Instagram?
Oh, Dreaming on a Budget? I think, let me see. I think he just messaged me, I believe.
He's always just a wealth of knowledge and information. And I'm probably going to have him on this show at some point. We're kind of neck and neck with a lot of our numbers right now. And he's just a good guy. We get along on a lot of different things. Carissa, Chosen Goods Reseller, is here. And actually, she's a moderator. So Carissa, if you haven't already, if you want to drop a link to Derek's channel, that would be awesome. Just in case anybody is not subscribed. There's me telling you guys I'm excited. Nikki Loves Snacks, always such a great supporter of the channel.
Hey,
see her. All right, what's up, Bama Picking and Grinning? I'm just gonna say the whole family's watching tonight, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they are. Hell's Canyon Hustle, hello.
Howdy.
I'm so glad that you guys know so many of these people in the chat also. It's just like such a community and so many friends. The Hoogs are here.
What's up?
The realest show on YouTube. Oh, yeah. And so the elbow cough is like a dab, but it always across and says elbow cough, which is weird. But I'm going to say that you guys were dabbing. Man, yes, that's exactly what I said. We were probably 20 minutes out from starting, and I texted Carissa Chosen Goods and I said my super fans already been here because I already had a thumbs down. We were 20 minutes out from starting.
Super fans, wow.
Yeah, it's okay. They have notifications turned on. Oh, this is my husband. Look at his awesome little bearded runner settled down.
What's up, Drew?
Hey, Drew. Shout out to the spouses.
Yeah, for sure. I constantly say he's the real MVP. Biggest flip yet. Yes, that is my good tonight. So you guys are going to hear that in the very first story that I share about my biggest sale ever. Like this is straight up car money, and it is making a dent in my car fund. Okay. Hello, Philly Flipper. So glad to see you here. No more prison. How do you like this, Paul? Like it's a little shiny. And the reason I actually had to stick the sequin up here is because I was really washed out with just the black back here. So I had to jazz it up a little bit.
We like the jazz, girl.
Yeah, I needed to be shiny. What's up, Betsy? Glad to have you here tonight. And we have WEW. Welcome everyone to the Reselling Researchers Network. I like that. Yeah, that's that. I'm gonna imagine that he said that in his best wrestler announcer
Hey,
voice.
Angie.
What's up, Angie? I'm glad to see you here this evening. We have our other Paul here. Hey, all.
Oh, so
He was in the chat on Jake's channel, Yak Off Ben's last night, was totally roasting me. If you weren't in the live, he reviewed my channel with my permission. I said, totally roast me, and he did. So that was while I was taking photos.
I was in the chat.
Yeah, you need to give him permission to roast you guys sometimes and see what he says, but only if you bring a thick skin, because it's a lot. Carol, so glad to see you tonight. Timothy Martin, and this is one of my very best friends, Heather Jordan. She's not a reseller; she's just a fantastic friend of mine. I actually didn't expect her.
How you doing, Heather?
It's her anniversary. Everybody tell Heather happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So she may not still be in the chat for all I know. All right. We have a Barter Mania. That's a new name for me. So do you guys know a first name there?
Yep. What for first name? No, I don't know their first name.
I'm so bad with trying to learn everyone's names, but I do my absolute best. So Barter Mania, you'll have to tell us your first name so we'll all know. Christine, hello. Good to see ya. Hey, great. All right, we will. We're gonna have a good one. I hope that you're able to hang out in the live tonight, but if not, I totally understand that. The Thrifty Spender. Let's see, Royal Queenie. I almost said Kiwani. Royal Queenie.
Queenie.
Let's see, Newbie here. Glad to tune in. Oh, I'm so happy.
Love the newbies.
Oh, isn't this the show for a newbie to join in? Because we're not going to sugarcoat it for you tonight, Trash to Cash. Trevor is tuning in while you list. That is exactly what I do. You guys always get me through some listing. Good afternoon. I better hurry up because they just keep adding. Oh, I was wondering what the super fan thing meant. Yeah, that's what it means. Oh, here's my dad and my mom. I'm sure is in here somewhere. He says hi, everyone. He was watching.
How you doing, Dad?
Billy Flipper, he told me that he was watching one of your lives, and I don't think I was even there, and he tuned in just to see your live. And I said, just when you're in the chat, tell somebody that you're my dad, and I'm sure they'll be super nice to you.
Aww, that's so sweet.
And the Reselling Writer, hello. And MF Flips, so glad to see you. Let's see here. The jazz makes you feel like you're in a pageant. Yeah, I'm a pageant girl. And down in Atlanta now, Jasmine, did you do pageants?
Angie. Oh, go ahead.
Jasmine, did you do pageants when you were like?
It's so funny you say that. In college, I actually did do a pageant and I won.
Awesome.
For our fraternity, but it was my first time. But
I don't think that you can live in the South and not do pageants, especially with your pretty face. Like someone was bound to put you in one.
It was a great experience. In college, you just try different things. But, we did the talent and the swimsuit. And my dad was like, don't do that again. I said, but I got the crown, though. I got, at least
She won.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
This is before I met my husband, though,
Yep.
Oh, well, there's Mrs. You could be Mrs. Georgia. So just saying, I might try to track you or.
But you know what? Our daughter is kind of coming into that age now. Like she'll be 12 next month.
Oh, yeah, perfect age.
Yeah, so she's like right in that prime area. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh, you're so sweet, Nikki. I always try to tell people you learn so much. Here's my mom. I have to highlight hers. Hi, Mom. My biggest fans ever are my parents, so I have to highlight them.
That's awesome.
But I always try to tell people how much you really do learn from pageantry, because like even we were talking about a live giving you like rapid fire questions and interviews and stuff like that. Well, that's the pageant world. I mean, it's nothing like standing on a stage and asking, being asked something like, if you were any type of cookie, what kind would you be? Like, that's you gotta dedicate yourself to something.
On the spot, quick responses, and you better make it sound good and smile while you do it.
Yeah, smile and look good in heels while you're doing it too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up pageantry for anything. Okay, so we're going to be talking, our very first topic tonight is the good that happened on eBay. And my good, I'm like super excited about but I will, of course, let my guests go first. So do you guys want to talk about something good that happened on eBay this week?
So yeah, you
Go
can do.
ahead,
You're good.
Nah, you got it. ATL Flipper.
I'm trying to think of. It's a lot of goods. That happened.
This really wasn't a bad week on eBay.
Yeah.
So, let me.
Well, I will say this while you're getting your stuff together. Shout out to the first quarter kicking off today, or the fourth quarter, excuse me.
Yes.
We've been talking about it for a while. So even with our eBay store, I think since I've come on, like we've really been pushing to get our items listed for fourth quarter, and it's here. So
I know.
I'm super excited, just about the potential sales that will be coming fourth quarter,
Yeah.
I almost made that my something good. So what have you guys done other than trying to have like the right things listed, which I mean, you still have some time to get the right listings out, but what have you done other than that to get ready for fourth quarter?
Really just like the organization of things.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of things in our cash pile that we have to
cash
yeah, that we have to get listed and everything like that. So we have a lot of shoes, and a lot of the shoes that I got were in a bundle. So I mean, I've already made profit from them.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's just like the other shoes, they're just sitting in huge bins, and I need to clean them, but it's just a lot. Yeah. So really just knocking that out.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the good is, so we use Hammock to kind of help us with our listings with
eBay.
Okay. So, it's been a great resource, like I think with us tag team. And so we have literally had hundreds of shoes that we've listed like in the last week or so. So I'm really excited, I guess, to get them listed, and like they flip so quickly because it's great inventory. So,
and people pay more for shoes. So I'm sure like your average sales price is higher because you guys find so many incredible shoes. Yeah. Like I asked my son, who wants, like, he is a sneakerhead and he wants to get into selling shoes more. And I'm like, is there anything you want me to ask Derek while he's selling shoes? Like, it's hard for me sometimes. I don't know. I had to ask Matt Easy, what's the difference in Air Force One and a Jordan? It was like, if it has the Jumpman on it, it's a Jordan. And like some things that are so basic, but like it's not my wheelhouse. It needs to be, because I'm sure that there's stuff around here. And tomorrow we're actually going where Marcus Dixon Pickens lives for my son's cross country meet. And I was like, let's stop at a couple of the big stores up there, including Plato's Closet, and see if we can find some sneakers.
Yeah. It's a whole world. But I mean, don't feel bad, Rachel. I mean, I'm kind of in the boat with you of learning the shoe world. I think, for me, and my husband knows, like, I'm not big on shoes and stuff like that personally. But from a business standpoint, like, I'm learning the difference between the retros and learning the difference between the Vapor Air Max. And it's a whole world of it, like the Danner boots.
You guys could do a channel, like a video on just the basics. That would help so many of us out. Like, you're probably thinking in your head, everybody knows this, but I promise you they don't. Like, that will be a video I will go back to and back to.
And like, him, Rachel, because I've been telling him
abuse.
It's not
Rachel.
abuse. I'm just affirming what Rachel is saying. Yes, Rachel, I really want to kind of get into that.
We're gonna
introductory, like people that are new to reselling.
Basic, like,
so overwhelming. Like,
yes, I look at, like, I could see a whole shelf full of Nikes and walk away because I don't know what to pick up. But a lot of people tell me that about like Gucci or Louis Vuitton, or like they have no idea what is real. And I'm like, you're leaving so much money there. So I'll try to focus on like, what would the basic level of not knowing even a Coach bag. And put out videos like that. There's a video to be made there. Somebody has a question for you here. You've been selling full-time for 2 years. How long would you say until you went all in? What would you say your primary inventory would be, and sourcing styles? Retail arbitrage, OA thrift, garage sale?
That's compact.
That is a lot. Okay, so the first part, how long of the 2 years until you were like, dang, there's something to this. Like, this is my new job?
So for those who don't know, I was a teacher for 6 years. I taught kindergarten and first grade, and I really enjoyed it. But as far as like just the finances, it's not, rewarding that much, and the goals that we wanted to achieve, I knew we wasn't, going to be able to do it by me teaching. So I started, reselling part-time. And what I did was I waited until I made double of what I was making teaching. What I was making teaching. And then that following year, I told my principal, I wasn't going to return, and everything like that. So, but I mean, it's like everybody's different. based off of, their expenses that is needed to take care of, the household. Yeah. But for us, I just, was making double, and I said, it's time to bounce. And it was around like 6 months of consistency of making double. So now I was like, yeah, it's taking off. I need to go and pursue this.
Yeah. And I think we had a plan with it too. Just kind of
we did.
Behind the scenes, for me, I was working at a job. So we kind of had that flexibility to say, you know what, go all in with reselling because the money was there. I think for you, it's more so the time commitment with teaching.
Yeah.
Like literally, he would be at school sometimes 10 hours a day, and then go to thrift stores and, it would be like over, like, I don't know. The people had already picked over a lot of the inventory and, you would.
But it gave me really good time to build relationships with the managers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's more important than people realize. So many people keep it hush hush that they resell. And like our one and only thrift store here in town, I do, but all of the other thrift stores, and even the resale shops, people know what I do. The only consignment store in our town knows, the only resale shop knows. Like it is important to have those relationships. So, I mean, I would say your primary source of inventory is thrifting. Am I right there?
Yes, definitely thrifting.
Yeah,
thrifting, and specifically shoes. But we resell everything, but we really focus on shoes because shoes are just, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of shoes down here.
See, that's where he's talking about, like, Nike's nice because they have the style code. Like, make a video so basic that you tell me where the style code is, because I'm the person that's typing in every single number on the daggum tag because I'm like, yeah, everyone says the style code's on there, but so are 47 other numbers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's very true.
Just washed a bunch of ugly Christmas sweaters. That's going to be a great fourth quarter for sure. Leave a few pair of shoes so that I can quit going barefoot.
Stop, Angelo. Stop.
Are you guys in the same area?
So I thrift in Atlanta, and Angelo thrifts in more of like Marietta. So it's about 25, 30 minutes away.
Gotcha. I only drive through Atlanta, and I'm like clenching my seat the entire time. And I'm like, oh, the traffic, and then those dark tunnels that are so weird. And you guys live there. You don't know how weird it is for everybody else.
Yeah. No, Atlanta has definitely gotten worse with the traffic. You're right.
And then, like, one time, several years ago, we're driving through Atlanta at night, and all of a sudden a person is standing in the middle of the interstate. I was like,
oh, yeah. You'll see that.
Especially if you're in Atlanta, like, there's a whole section where they got their tents and,
they're just standing out there. I'm like,
they run the streets.
Yeah, that's nuts to me. So, Derek, what do you think was your good thing this week then? Jasmine's like queued up and ready to go for quarter four, which I agree. That's an awesome thing on eBay right now.
So my good would be, I bought these. I don't even know what it is, but it's the brand is called Charitable, and it's a voice switch or something like that. But I bought it and I was like, man, I'm not gonna sell these. And all of a sudden, somebody went and paid full price for it, which was $124. And I paid, I think, I made a video about it, but it was like $1, I think. $1.
Nice. So what is it exactly?
It's a Shure, but I don't know if you can see a picture.
Yeah, we'll see. Give it a second to focus on there, and we'll see. Maybe I just have to give mine a minute because that's how I do my what solds, is like hold the thing up and I have to give it a second.
Let me move it this way.
Oh, okay.
But I don't even know what it's used for. I just looked up the comps.
You.
Yeah, I just looked up the comps and I was like, oh, it's going for, and I got it, not thinking it was going to sell. And out the blue, it just
$124.
$124.
See, that's like, you don't have to be an expert on everything that you sell. You don't even have to know what it is. I sold some staples I talked about on my last live, and I had to ask the guy this week because he ended up buying me out of the staples this week. He sent me a message and said, I want all the rest of them that you have. And I said, well, I found 4 more boxes. And he made me an offer for everything I had left. And I said, only if you tell me what you're using these for. Like, these are staples from like the 40s. And he said, because I had to know. And here I've sold like over $200 worth of these, maybe close to $300 worth of just boxes of staples that were 50 cents a box. And he said, I build model railroads. I'm in this club, and we use this old vintage staple gun because they try to do it like the way it once was.
Right.
And the staples we need to staple down the 14 gauge wire for our model railroads.
Wow.
And he's in the same state as me. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing about reselling, is that you can Like I found something that was worthless to everyone that walked by it. It was sitting in this thrift store for months. I went back 3 weeks after buying the first and bought the rest of them. Nobody wanted them. Those things were bound for the trash. And then to be able to sell it to this guy that actually needed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll catch up on the chat here real quickly while where do you go? Where you go the speed limit? Yeah, that's right. If you go the speed limit, you get
Yeah, no. Nobody goes the speed limit in Atlanta.
I don't go the speed limit. I drive 5 under everywhere I go. And so I go to cities like yours and I'm like,
can't do that.
Yeah.
Or just get all the way. And people are rude nowadays too with driving. Like it's
they have no patience. Everyone here is so slow. We're just like at this, we're like, you would think of the Bahamas when you think of like a casual, slower lifestyle. No, it's just every little southern town like mine. We're just slower, you know.
Yeah. What's up, Roman?
Just take your time. That's all.
Chris.
It's good to see you here, Roman. It's Derek. I got the same exact hat you're wearing. Someone else commented earlier that they like your Hornets hat.
Oh yeah. Appreciate it.
Like he has a hat for everything, Rachel. You should see the closet.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah,
for every occasion. Like if you notice in all of his videos on YouTube, he's rocking a different hat.
A different one. I had to crop your hat out of our picture.
Oh, sorry.
I was glad I got to use the third little amigo there on the front. So that's going to be the thumbnail every week. Whoever agrees to be on this show is going to.
It works out. It works out.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a funny thumbnail, Rachel.
It's adorable.
So how did you do it? You just cropped out the use like background remover and then just crop it out?
I use an app called Pick Grid, I think is what it's called. And it has this clipping feature. So you put in all the photos that you want to use at least a part of, and then you just like draw around. So I just like drew around with my stylus around your faces and move them over. It's probably way too much time than what I should be spending on a thumbnail, but they're fun. So guys, if you agree to be on the show, you'll get your very own face and whole picture. So my biggest thing, and I hope that I'm not jinxing this, I'm going to say, praise God for this. That way, like jinx has no power.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you the whole story.
Tell us, girl.
So I was at a yard sale recently, and these people were like, well, there might be some like really priceless vintage out here for all we know. And I said, well, I'm going to try to find it, you know, because I'm just going to be honest with people. And then she said, well, the best stuff I'm selling on eBay. Do you know anyone? And I'm like, because no one in my town resells. She's like, do you know anyone who can help us with pricing or help us with eBay stuff? And I said, yeah, me, like, that's my full-time job. And she said, I didn't know that. Wow. And I was like, yeah, like, what do you have? I'd be glad to tell you about what I think it's worth. And I showed her like how to look up comps. And like, I stayed over there probably 2 hours. And while I'm doing that, I'm of course looking through the yard sale as well. And I picked up this silverware, and like, it was weird to even see it was silverware because it was in like this vinyl container. And I opened it up and I just see that it's a full set of silverware. That's all I see. And I'm thinking it's probably like silver plated or something, you know, like Williams Rogers or something. And I said, how much for the silverware? And I already have my arms full. And she said $5. And there was other people there that were helping her with the yard sale. And they were like, ooh. And I could tell everyone thought that was cheap, but they weren't going to let me not buy it for that. Yeah. And I said, she's right. That is cheap. How about I double that? I'll give you 10, you know, like, okay. So I go through the rest of the yard sale. I bought some stuff I didn't even want to buy that they asked me to buy. I ended up spending $80. So that's high for me at a yard sale. But in the back of my head, I was just like, I got all that silverware though.
Right.
I get the silverware home and get to really inspecting it. And it is sterling silver. It's not silver plated. It's solid silver. It's 36 silver. And so I sold it today. $10, and I sold it today for $700.
Yeah! Let's go!
Plus shipping.
Wow.
$10.
Oh my gosh. I originally listed it way higher than what I thought it was going to go for. Closer to where like 40 to 60 pieces, where I listed it like 1,400 just to see if I got any bites. Yeah. And then y'all know I'm trying to save up for a daggum car. So I backed it off to $9.99. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was sitting at $8.99.
Wow.
And that offer came in at $700. And I was like, I could not. Yeah, I asked my husband, I was like, what do you think I should do? And he's like, sell the silverware. And I said, I was like, I definitely shouldn't hold out. And I thought if they were to retract the offer right now, I would feel this big. So I have to take it. And then Like my son is just starting eBay, so my eBay is set up on his phone and he gets all my notifications. So I was like, Dello, should I take the offer? And he's like, what offer? And he looks it up. He's like, dang, can I sell it?
Can I get a cut? Something.
So the brand was Alvin, and all it said on the back for you guys that are watching is Alvin Sterling. And if you go to eBay right now and type in Alvin Sterling, like blow your mind. If you see Sterling on anything,
About to look at it.
I mean, sterling is different than silver plate. So Williams, Rogers, anything like that, like silver plate, I kind of hang on to it forever. But if you find something that says sterling, you have to buy it. I mean, obviously that was 36 pieces. You know, had it been one piece, you might get $20 for a knife or something. So even if you just find one piece, pick it up.
That's
a crazy
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
It almost doubled my previous best sell. My previous best was like $450 or something like that. So yeah, and this is going to be a lot easier to ship because that's a sewing machine.
Right.
And their feedback was, I mean, not feedback, but their rating was good as far as the.
Yes, I did check that. I was like, and they actually looked like they were more of a seller than a buyer, which I'm fine. Like, I don't care if they make money off of it. I called my dad to tell him about it. And I said, at the end of the day, I want a car more than I want that silverware.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's going to be like lots of fees, and I could have held out and waited for closer to the $800-900, but you guys, I need a car right now, and like a $700 sale. So let's get caught up here.
Wow.
They're dropping y'all's link. That's awesome.
Hey, Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer.
What's up?
Nice reseller. Now, do we know a first name? Or tell me what your first name is. Because I don't. I want to know everyone's.
You want her to tell you?
Yeah. What is it?
Okay, Missy.
Missy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do my best to remember that. I want to say maybe I asked her in a chat before, but I'm gonna remember this. I took an offer. Cajun reseller. I had it listed for $34.99. Got a good offer on something. Yeah, you guys tell us in the chat what was your good thing. Also, happy that you're here. $700. I know, right? $700. Yeah, that was huge. So excited about that. I'm like, how come I couldn't have had that whenever I was in the reseller bracket on the
I know, right?
I was out in the first round.
You would have beat the Hoops.
Yeah. I don't know. They had some really good stuff. I'm telling you. That one week, like you guys both had Gucci.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I would have kept those Gucci sneakers. I don't know what size they were, but if you find some in a 41.5.
Well, you know, 41. I don't think they make the like 41.5. It's just like 41, 42, 43. I've never seen 41. Like 41.5. Yeah.
We'll see. And a lot of them, you know, like 41.5 is a 10. I'm a women's 10. I'll put my toes in there. I mean,
take the insoles out.
Like a brand I personally collect. So when I find Gucci, I have a very hard time selling it. I don't find it often.
Yeah.
But I lurk on like eBay auctions and try to bid at the very last minute on Gucci stuff. And I got a vintage Gucci Lady Lock bag recently that needed some repairs, and I'm all about repairing vintage and designer stuff. So like this is like $1,200 bag, and I want to say I got it right at $100 because she said it was broken. It wasn't even like a complicated repair. Yeah. I was pretty excited about it. Gucci gang, they said. Okay. So we're going to talk about the bad that happened. If anyone in the chat has something good, we can still talk about some good, but we're going to talk about the bad that happened over on eBay this week. And it can be, you know, we try to focus on like the bad things or things that could be rectified. The ugly is what didn't even result in a sale. But yeah, just tell us anything that happened that we can be super real with people, especially Trash to Cat. Like, tell me something bad that happened.
Whew. So we recently, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, we recently had a buyer that bought some Birkenstock sandals, brand new in the box. They get the sandals and they say, hey, I need to return these because the bottoms of them are too hard and it hurts my back when I walk.
Like they'd never wore Birkenstocks before.
Exactly. So I was like, these are Birkenstocks. So I was like, okay. So I look at their eBay store and they have like 1,000 different feedbacks or whatever, right? Find out they're a reseller. So she messages me and says, you know, I want a refund and, you know, I know, being another reseller, is you hate returns, but I really need to return these, and came up with all these excuses, right? So I was like, I'll accept your return. But then when I looked at her eBay store, Rachel, so I gave her a discount on the Birkenstocks. I think I sold them for like $80 or something, right?
Oh, wow. That's a good price, though.
Yeah, I got them for like $6 or $7. So I was like, whatever.
Wow.
So she had them listed in her eBay store for $120.
Yes.
The same pair of shoes?
She screenshotted our picture and put it
the listing
and created a listing. So you know what I did?
Yes.
Decline.
Wow.
I'm gonna do the research to see
what
was up.
So I was like,
Crazy.
And then she messaged me and was like, why did you decline? These really hurt my back and all these excuses. I said, well, I was going to accept your return, but then when I saw you had the same pair of Birkenstocks in your store
with our pictures,
sell them for $120. And then she came up with some, excuse. I was like, I didn't even, I just said, okay.
What would her excuse even be for that?
Right.
Nothing.
She said she thought that I wasn't going to accept the return, so she had them listed because she wanted to make a little profit if I didn't receive, if I didn't accept her return. So I said,
well, it looks like that's what you'll depend on now.
Right.
Exactly.
I was like, get out of here. But yeah. Yours?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never dealt with anything quite like that. I almost did message someone this week, though, and ask them, because I was listing a pair of Sam Edelman boots, and the only comp I could find, like, they're sold for over $100, and everyone else was like around 50 or 60, but they had amazing pictures. And I pushed contact seller, and I was like, I want to ask them if I can use their pictures, if this was like the only one that they had. But then I was like, don't be lazy, Rachel. Light up the background and make sure you get good pictures. I didn't do it, but I thought about it because they were good pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for the front photo. So what do you think was something bad that happened this week?
Because I don't know her bad. I'm just sitting back.
Right. So I guess everything is still new. Like, I consider myself a newbie to the reselling world. Like, I've been an observer for the longest, and it's been a part of my household as long as I can remember. So I think my bad is a little different. So for me, like, I've recently been listing items for the first time on eBay. So I get really excited when we make sales. I'm like, I listed that item. I did those pictures. So we had sold this recorder that has been in our house for over a year, babe, right? He calls it the cash pile. I call it in my way. It was just around. So we sold it for $180. And I was so excited because it's been.
So what do you mean a recorder?
It was like an old school, like recorder, a vintage recorder system, like where you can put the vinyl on it and play the thing.
Okay, like a reel-to-reel type of recorder.
Yes.
Yeah, reel-to-reel. Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. Learning the language.
Gotcha. Yeah, those go for incredibly good money, especially if you have like the Sony one or something.
Yes. And how much did you get it for, babe? Because it was so long ago.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
I mean, we've had it in our house for so long. So with me coming into the business, I'm like, hey, we have a lot of great stuff around the house. Let me just get it listed while he's working on thrifting. So we sold it for $180, and I was like, babe, did you see the sale? I'm so excited. And then they wanted a return, and I was like, so I kind of went through that heartbreak moment of like, man, you go through that and you're excited, like you said, and then we
didn't even ship it yet, so I guess they know a lot about the reel-to-reel.
So they just wanted to cancel it before you even shipped it?
Yeah, they said it doesn't have like two different parts that
parts.
need it, so it doesn't work. And I was like, but it turns on.
Yeah, it turns on and it works, but they were very kind of nitpicky on it. So for me, it's like it was. So we did, but I guess I'm just having to deal with the return, disappointment of reselling. Like that's a part of the business,
Are they looking for it to have like the clear cassette that goes to the other side so that you can wind the tape to the other side?
Probably,
yeah.
There's a guy like in town that has a whole reel-to-reel like in a case that he only wants $20 for it, but it has that. But I couldn't find comps on that specific one, and it was kind of rough. So if you end up not able to find that anywhere, I know where you can get one for $20. I'll just mail you the little thing.
Yeah.
I thought about it because like researching those, they're big money. And I have down here in the basement, we have like one of the console record players, and it has a reel-to-reel player on it. And those reel-to-reel, the records themselves, some people call them records and some people call them tapes, and it's more of a tape. They go for great money.
Yeah. And that's when we were looking up the comps for it. I was like, oh, we got to get it listed. Like, I just put a picture up. I'm going to put it on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah,
That's gonna
for the
sell.
one-
Don't worry. You dodged a bullet with that picky buyer, and
Yeah.
that thing will sell because like
Yeah.
the sell-through rate looks good on those and everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're learning, but definitely, I think
Yeah.
for me, just that learning curve too, of just being very specific in the descriptions,
Mhm.
sometimes, because I feel like we were, but
we didn't know what it was. So
Yeah.
it's like, we just listen to as is.
mhm.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes when I'm not an expert on certain things that I list. I'm like, everything that you see in the pictures is what's included or something
Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah, because I don't know exactly what they're looking for. Let me get caught up on what they've said here. Someone, wait a minute. I only find Gucci behind Goodwill dumpsters. Roman, I don't think that's like, those aren't G's, those are C's. Stay away from that. A handful of good flip stories. $700 on a book that you got for $1. That's crazy. I don't even shop on Amazon, so I definitely don't want to sell over there.
Yeah.
But picked up a DeMarini Juggernaut bat. Oh, okay. Monday for $250. Sold it Thursday for $130 plus shipping. Picked up 2 other bats in the same haul that should sell for even more. That's awesome.
All right, Kelly.
That is a heck of a flip. Good was $5 golf bag and club sold for $239 shipped. Now that was a beast to ship. You earned your money on that.
Yeah. Wow.
62. I'm officially retired. Congratulations. A few weeks ago, I half jokingly said to Derek that I would meet them at Goodwill and let them use my 25% off.
Yeah, he did say that.
Rent a geezer.
We'll take it.
Oh, that's hilarious. What's up, Marcus? How's it going? Marcus, I'm coming up to Cape tomorrow. I'm going to hit up Plato's Closet, and I might go by the Teen Challenge thrift store since you said it's so awesome. Let's see if anybody else has some stories here. My could have been bad. FedEx is a dice roll when shipping bigger items. See, they're the ones I go to for bigger items. I've never had a bad experience with them. But I hear people say this. A $350 item was lost and not moving. FedEx giving me the runaround saying I get a call back. Crickets delivered today. Oh, that's good. So on that $700 set of silverware, like it's not going to take up any space. If I truly wanted to, I could fit it into a flat rate envelope. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But I was like, should I get the extra insurance? They haven't lost anything over a year for me. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be fine. And then I'm like, no, Rachel, this is when they're
side. Yeah. Didn't it come in a case, Rachel? The silverware set?
No, it's not even in a wooden case. Like it's literally in this vinyl bag.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, because sometimes it has to be in the case before it commands like really good money.
What's up, Mark?
Let's see. Great job. Check them out. Mark.
Eric.
Let's see. I have a person from Canada accept an offer of $450 for a rare shirt, then send me a message asking to just ship outside of GSP. Say the price is $20 and the ship should only be $20. Canadians know a lot about high shipping prices, so they should probably go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, like to mail a DVD is like $15 or something. I mean,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. They have free healthcare though, so. Had a buyer open a case. The item was marked delivered in my city instead of theirs. Last time I take a FedEx package to Walgreens.
Oh, wow.
I did stop taking them to Walgreens, but if you go into Walgreens, you take your package in there. I don't know if every one of them is as forthcoming with this information, but they can scan it and text you. Like they ask for my phone number and then they'll text me that I dropped it off there. So I don't know if every Walgreens actually offers that. I'm in such a small town. I feel like sometimes we get some services in a bigger city they might not tell you. Let's see. Thank you, Jennifer, for dropping people's links. Super important. Those go for good money. I don't know what goes for good money. Oh yeah, probably.
The real.
Oh,
so I'll say if you honestly, because it's pretty heavy. So if anybody in the chat wants it, you can just pay for shipping and it's yours.
You're gonna sell that. I'm telling you.
We just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me show them a picture again. Y'all could just.
Yeah,
it's a good one. Like, see, the one that I have access to is not it's not big like that.
Yeah, it's a big set, and we have another one too. I think we have.
No, that's it's a different one.
Yeah, well,
Marcus, I saw your short today, and I was cracking up. And then I did watch your video, and I loved it. And he sold a pair of Blair brand, like old lady brand Blair sweatpants for $20 plus $8 shipping. How? I can't sell Levi's for that sometimes, like or
brand new Levi's. Can you
Yeah,
tell
I
me?
know. I'm like, how did you get almost $30 out of a pair of Blair like nursing home pants? I
That's
can tell
crazy.
you one thing
Wow.
since last year's issues with USPS. I physically take all packages to the counter. I do every day. My clerks
Yeah.
print them in.
Yeah.
That way, at least it shows being processed. Yes,
Yeah.
I do every single day. And then if you don't want to print a scan sheet, you can take a picture of that barcode that's on the scan sheet that appears on your computer screen, and they can scan that from your phone too. Mine do anyway. But again, we're in a small town, so sometimes they'll go an extra mile. Okay, so my bad thing that happened, let me look and make sure. Okay, this is kind of a weird thing that happened. So I'm listing day before yesterday, I think, and all of us, like, I tithe through eBay, which is weird. Don't worry, I'm not tithing to the church of eBay because it's not spreading the
I'm
gospel.
about to say, we have
Yeah.
a charity. You can just put our charity in the
Yeah. So I 10% of all my sales go directly to Samaritan's Purse. I don't have to think about it, and they pull it out. It's a no-brainer. And I don't know if anyone in the chat has had this experience or if you guys have, but I have had people buy things from me and say, since it's for a good cause, or I would negotiate with you, but it's for a good cause. And like it clearly says on my listing that it is 10% that is going to them.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you.
Right.
And then like I'll have people leave feedback that says, thanks for XYZ. I'm glad to support such a good cause. And I'm like, this isn't Samaritan's Purse putting this on. So there are multiple benefits to having a benefited charity. You also get in bold red letters, benefits charity, kind of a reason for people to click on your listing. So I've always done that, and I know Marcus does that too. His benefits, the place that we were just talking about, Teen Challenge, and yeah, so he just said that I tied through eBay also, same thing, and I know some other resellers that tie through eBay. So I go to make a listing the other day, and it says you cannot post this listing because your charity, how did it word it? Like your charity permissions are suspended because of unpaid charity invoices. And I was like, I don't get an invoice from my charity. It's one of the 1,000 emails that eBay sends you every single day. So on each individual item, you'll get an email. You donated 93 cents. You donated $1.90. You donated $20 every single item. Okay. So it's have unpaid ones. And I get on.
Rachel, you breaking up?
Oh, am I back? Can you guys see me okay?
Hold on.
I think
it froze.
You guys tell me in the chat if you can see me all right. Can you see me?
We can hear you good. It's just frozen on the screen.
Yeah.
Is that better?
No, can you go out, or is it gonna close it all the way out? And then come back in? Yeah, I don't know. It's frozen still. Yeah. Can you hear us, Rachel? I can't hear.
I wonder.
Let me see.
So
we
took over the channel.
No.
Wait.
So yeah. So we're still live. I think she's probably gonna try to come back in, guys. Yeah. So we can go ahead and just talk about our ugly. Because it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. You want to go first, or you want me to go?
No, you can go.
Okay.
Take the lead, boo.
So y'all put in the chat too, y'all ugly that happened to y'all this week, or something that you've seen or experienced. My ugly, guys, today was
it was rough.
It was off the chain. So I'm in the thrift store, and I've never seen this before. I'm talking to a customer, and we just chatting up, and all we hear is a scream. So we look toward the front, and it's two women. Like,
did you guys hold it down for me?
Oh
yes,
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I was trying, to get my ugly.
It's stormy here tonight.
Oh really?
Oh, okay.
I just interrupted mid-sentence. I'm sure it's like thunder. Like, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's like you froze again.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we don't hear any storm or anything in your background.
Yeah. So like I was saying, yes. Like I was saying with the cashiers, can you hear us, Rachel? You still there? Okay. She probably gonna have to come back in.
Derek,
But
you're on
yes.
pins and needles with your story, boo.
Oh, yeah.
This is how he does me though. Like at home, like
Yeah.
he'll tell the best story, but it'll take like 2 minutes.
Suspense. You gotta wait for it.
Yeah.
So I'm in the thrift store and we hear a scream.
Mhm.
And there you go, Rachel. We can see you now.
Got it now.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So we hear a scream and we look toward the front and it's two women like going back and forth. And then a guy from the back who does, I guess, like the donations, he came up and I said, "Hey man, you got any popcorn?" He was like, "Huh, nah." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Cause you know it's about to be a show right here."
But tell them who the women were though, babe. Like who were the women? Like it was.
It was a cashier and a customer.
Yes, the cashier at the thrift store was going in with the customer.
Right.
About to lay hands.
Yes, and not like holy hands, but
she's not praying for her.
no. So one of the older ladies, she was like, she had a cane and she was walking as fast as she could to me. And she was like, "Baby, go get a manager, go get somebody in the back to come up here." And I was like, "Man, I want to see a show." No, okay. But I ended up going back there and getting a manager. And I said, "Hey man, I said, I noticed no one's up front, like a manager." I said, "There's two women up there about to fight." And he was like, "Okay." I was like, "No, like they're like taking off earrings, man, about to fight." And he was like, "Oh, really?" Oh, and then he went up there, and poor guy, man, he didn't do much, you know. But they ended up, he ended up sending the cashier to the back, and she cooled off, and then But I found out later on that after everything that happened, that the customer, other cashiers have had problems with her.
Mm.
So they was like, "Look, if it happened again, we're just gonna ban her from the thrift store." I said, "How do you get banned from the thrift store?"
Wow, that's like being banned from a volunteer job, like getting fired from a volunteer job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was talking to the manager. He was like, "AD," another manager. He was like, "AD, man, we was in the hood." So I was just like, "Man, this is." But I should have put up my phone and recorded it. But
yeah, give us a little bit of content. You could have threw it on the stories or something.
Right,
That's nuts.
Yeah,
but I'm glad that you had an interesting story for the chat while I was away. I'm sorry, you guys. If it happens again, just do whatever you need to do. You guys are great. It's just so stormy here tonight. We have thunderstorms. So I kicked everyone in the house off of the Wi-Fi. They're great, but they're no longer Wi-Fi.
Shut it down.
Yeah, no Fortnite tonight. There's actually a homecoming dance tonight. So oh, my husband actually said, I think the microwave running jacked the signal up also. Our microwave is actually pretty close to our router. Does that happen? Like,
really?
I don't know. I've never.
I'm going to Google this and ban teenagers and pizza rolls. Yep, my son came home and no doubt he wanted some pizza rolls. It's okay. The price we pay.
Right.
He would live on pizza rolls if he could. Okay, so to finish up my story about the charity, I ended up getting on there. There was a $90 invoice, a $50 some odd invoice, and a 90-cent invoice. And it was for like 2 or 3 weeks in June for some reason. And everything prior to that was paid. Everything after that was paid. And there was just these weeks in the middle that were unpaid. So I called eBay because that should help. And the girl was like,
What?
I was like, what do you mean? And like, she was, I think I bothered her nap or something when I called her. I'm not. This girl, like, thankfully English was her first language because sometimes my own shelteredness, I can't understand everyone all the time. And so we were at least able to communicate better, but she was not communicating with me. She's like, I don't know, call PayPal, see if you paid them. And I said, well, everything always comes out of there. Like I get emails from you guys every day. So I ended up being able to go on eBay and request to cancel those invoices, but they'll only let you do that so many times. So I requested to cancel the $90, requested to cancel the $53, but I went ahead and paid the 90 cents.
Yeah.
Just so that wouldn't be an additional strike.
Right.
But like I'm talking with one of my friends who tithes through there also, and she said, she's been doing multiple platforms, and she's thinking about just going in once a month and adding everything up and just tithing directly to the organization that way, which I do want to start branching out into like Mercari and Facebook Marketplace. So I may go that route if they give me any more flack, because I heard from other people this is not the first time that's happened.
Wow. So that's a common thing, I guess, for
I
some
don't know.
organizations?
That's the first time it's ever happened to me. And I mean, from the first item I think that I listed on eBay, because I used to tithe to Teen Challenge, but now it's to Samaritan's Purse. And like, because let me tell you a funny story. And I was telling Marcus this when I went to buy Lego from him a couple weeks ago. So Teen Challenge is like a drug rehabilitation program that helps people like through Christ and in the name of Christ. Like, so it's a ministry that I enjoy tithing to and supporting. I had them on all of my items, never thought a thing in the world about it, do some retail arbitrage at Walmart and buy these jumbo flask. You see what the problem is here?
Yeah.
A drug and alcohol rehabilitation program as the beneficiary.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So they took it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
It said like the email said Teen Challenge has taken off their charity affiliation with your product.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like that was stupid of me to have done that. So be careful that the charity that
Make sure it lines up with the items.
Yes, good way to phrase it.
Yeah.
The bad, I got a negative feedback stating item not received in an item the buyer requested to cancel shortly after paying. I couldn't get the buyer to remove their feedback. I'm glad you got eBay to do it though. Yeah. I was going to suggest you reach out to eBay. That's really, I mean, I get what they're saying. Like I didn't receive this item, but maybe it was I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they were new and didn't understand how the feedback works.
Right.
That's not nice. Hey Zach, completely off topic, but Derek, you look just like
Word Done.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Football.
Oh, he's a football player.
Yeah. Football.
Oh, okay. I definitely don't watch football.
Turn to the side. Let him see the side angle.
Work done.
He has an organization here in Atlanta too.
Work done.
Yeah. He has a nonprofit here in Atlanta.
Oh wow.
That's hilarious.
Well, I could be his. I'm gonna say, hey man, I'm your long lost cousin.
No, just walk around and try to get use that to get things.
Yeah.
People gonna know it's not me. I mean, it's not work done though.
They might. He has a helmet on when they see him, so they don't know.
But funny story,
thanks,
people actually say he looks like Tay Diggs. I don't know if you guys know who Tay Diggs is, but he's kind of like Derek's lookalike.
Nice. I could see that. More than the work done, because I don't know what that guy looks like, but I could only imagine that he wears a football uniform.
Somebody agrees, Kelly.
Thrifty spender. For the negative feedback. Yeah, that's really crazy.
Yeah.
That's just like super surprising. But eBay is like, I have my real estate license, and we always say in real estate, like it's every single contract is a learning experience. You learn something new. Something happens that had never happened before. Like, I had a lady go on maternity leave once while we're in the process of closing, and they wouldn't finance her because it was 6 weeks without employment, is what they said. They deemed that she had lost her job. But again, it was the first time that had ever happened to me. So even though it was something bad that happened, I was able to tell future buyers that were pregnant, okay, we need to time this right.
Wow.
Same reason you don't want to go buy new furniture or a new car before you have a closing. Like you just learn so much every time. Hey, Gino, I tried to click on yours. Good to see you here tonight.
How you doing, Gino?
Let's see here. Kelly. Derek is better.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, he didn't look like he took that as a compliment when you guys said that.
I mean, he's not. I mean, I wouldn't call another dude, handsome or beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it okay to call a guy beautiful?
No.
We were having this conversation the other night at my kitchen table because I have two sons. One is 15 and one is 5. And I looked at the 15-year-old and I asked him the same question I ask him pretty well every day. Has anyone told you today that you're beautiful? And I always tell my boys that they're beautiful. He said, "No, Mom, that's not something anyone other than you says to me. No one would ever
Yeah.
call me beautiful." And I'm like, well, I could call you handsome, but to me, handsome is just like an outward thing. Like, you're beautiful. Like, I feel like
he has a beautiful soul. Like you
You said like you're a beautiful, like you're a
beautiful
beautiful
person,
person.
inside and out.
yes,
But-
I feel like beautiful means so much more than like pretty or handsome. Pretty and handsome is like such a vanity thing, but to call someone beautiful is just like, you're a beautiful person. And so we got in this whole debate at the kitchen table about whether or not you can call men beautiful. And Drew says, "See, I told you."
I'm with you, Drew. I'm with you. Like Rachel, if a dude came up to me and you know we was talking, he was like, "Man, I just want to let you know, man, that you're beautiful." I'm be like, dude.
You want to take that as a compliment?
No, that's
what
an
if
insult.
it was your pastor?
If my pastor said that, I'd be like, "Pastor, I love you. You know, I know you love the Lord, but
Don't say that no more.
yeah, don't say that again."
Oh, Trevor says, "I take being called beautiful." Yeah, I tell my kids that all the time. And then, but like, since I think it's so much of a grander compliment than handsome or, you know, anything like that, like people will post pictures of their new baby boy. And I'm like, "Oh, he's beautiful." And then I'm taken aback and I'm like, well, did they take that the wrong way? Like, I hope not. If I ever call a guy beautiful, it just means that.
But a woman can call a guy beautiful. It's just like another man can't call another man
well,
beautiful.
he can't call you handsome either, though.
I mean, he can't be like, "Man, that's a handsome dude." Like he, you know, like he ain't like
delicate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you like the way he like. You're not attracted to him that way, you know. But
yeah, you can appreciate someone. Like for girls, it's so much easier. I'll stop a girl in the store. Like one day I'm walking behind this girl and we're in like the soda and water aisle. And I'm like, her calves look so amazing. I have to tell her. I was like, I hope she doesn't take this the wrong way. And then she turns around and thank God it was someone I knew, which isn't hard in our small town. But I was like, oh, I'm so glad it's you. I had to tell you how amazing your calves look in those heels.
Say otherwise it could have been a little awkward.
It could have been, but I still would have had to tell her, like, I will not rob people of a compliment. And she said that it meant so much because she was actually going through like some body image stuff at the time. I'm like, I feel like God will use you and he'll put stuff on your heart, you know. Drew says I ain't pretty either.
Nah, you don't call a dude pretty.
Beautiful. Connor said you're beautiful.
Hey man. Hey, where's let me go to my Instagram. Let me unfollow. No. You're beautiful too. No, play.
Nice. So, okay, so we're gonna talk about ugly stuff because ugly stuff does obviously happen. You know, my ugly this week isn't really that bad. Maybe I'm just getting excited for going into Q4, or like I had been kind of down about the money that is not accumulating for my car right now, and I decided to like pull up my big girl panties and deal with it. So I have increased motivation this week to get things done, and maybe it's just that positive mindset. But like this week wasn't terrible for me over on eBay, and not even looking at the numbers, it just I didn't have terrible experiences. But did you guys have anything that stood out as glaring bad, like the worst thing that happened on eBay this week?
So we got I don't know if you saw it, but we got a negative feedback. From a buyer. But what they said was, so I sold a pair of we sold a pair of Timberland boots, right? They're size 1.5. Like they're little kid shoes.
Right.
I put them in the padded flat rate. Well, I put in a padded flat rate envelope. They received it and said, I packed it tight. They gave me negative feedback. I'm gonna read you what it says. It says seller shipped boots in a tight little package, not caring about the boots being deformed when I received them. They're size 1. The boots aren't even they're not they're small. They weren't they couldn't be deformed because how I put the boots in, I put them opposite. So they're not even on top of each other. They're none of that. And then when I close it up, you know, I seal it, you know, where it can't move around like that. Yeah. So
I received like electronic stuff in a bubble mailer and been annoyed, but never would I leave someone negative feedback, especially if the item wasn't damaged.
Right. And I gave them a discount too. So it's like, come on, man. But yeah.
So have you reached out to eBay to tell them like, hey, this item wasn't damaged? And another thing that I'll do is, because I use the flat rate bubble mailers a lot, I put that in my listing that's how it's coming. That way, if I ever do receive that feedback, I can say like it was in the listing that this will be shipped. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
You haven't reached out yet. But
I would. I mean, just to see. Everyone always suggests you go to like the Facebook, eBay business page, but I'm not on Facebook, so I just call them. But I think you get better response if you look on Facebook.
Okay.
That's crazy. That stinks. I mean, I have a negative. I think that's about to die off, and like I got a neutral once, and it was in another language. Or maybe that was a negative. And I was just like, you know what? Nobody can read it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody can see what it says. And his complaint was that it wasn't the color he ordered, and it was gray.
What color did he think it was?
There was only one available. And in the title it said gray. In the listing it said gray. And he said, I got the wrong color. This isn't the color I ordered. And I'm like, there weren't multiple color options.
Right.
But sometimes I feel like you have more credibility as a seller if you have 98.7% or 99.3% positive, because not everyone is going to think you're the ripest, juiciest peach, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? I feel like a little negative feedback isn't the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, like you're still going to sell things. Some people, when they see your item, they're just going to buy it based off of, they want that item.
Yes.
They're not
even going to look.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's true. And I think we've talked about, just how we can target like the negative feedback and stuff like that. So we've talked more so about how we can get positive feedback, more positive feedback. You know what I mean? So even for us, like we're working on shipping items quicker. So even though we say we have like 2-day handling time, we say, you know what, if we can ship it in a day or same day and let them get the item sooner, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's create those experiences, because the negative, I feel like, will come here or there. But
you're exactly right.
Yeah.
And I know people that will literally refund a $50 order in order to get someone to revise negative feedback. And I'm like, I don't think it's worth that, but I'd love to hear other people's opinions, because, it's not one size fits all, but I would never do that.
Yeah, I think it's part of it that comes with it. I think for me, though, it's kind of looking at it. Sometimes it may be valid things that we have to look at to say, is it something that we can shift in how we do business behind the scenes, So, we kind of take the negative, sometimes negative is just janky. That's our word that we use. Like, oh, yeah, that was a little janky comment. But, constructive criticism, I think, is helpful in business. So, I think that's how I take it. Like negative, could we have shifted differently? No, that person was just being a little janky. They was in their feelings that day.
Yeah.
It's all good,
And you're dealing with them that day under whatever happened to them that day. And like we were talking about thank you cards, because I include a thank you card. And like, here's actually an example of my thank you card. So I'll try to see if that will focus.
Oh, cute.
These are business cards from Vistaprint. I get a huge box, and it just says, thank you so much for your purchase. Enjoy this amazing find, and God bless. And I feel like this kind of sets the stage when they're opening their package. And that's what Yakov Benz, that's what he was talking about, was when his little thank you card is on the outside, or he uses thank you stickers, like that kind of puts the person in a good mood before they open your package. So like you're coming at them with like a heart of gratitude that they even bought from you. I think these are worth their weight in gold, because this avoids negative feedback. Do you agree?
Yeah. So we use these right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we use those sometimes. But
I like yours because that's like custom. Like you custom create those.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people do the really large ones that would probably be something more like this size. But these are just the business cards. And like, I think, with Vistaprint, there's always a coupon code, but you can usually get like your first 100 or 250 for like $10 or something,
Yeah.
It's a good gesture. So
it is.
I think so. And since these aren't eBay branded, I can use them in my Posh packages. And then when I branch into Mercari and Facebook as well, I can still include these. So,
and I know for me, like when I was, when it was just me, like I didn't want to put in cards because I didn't want buyers to go on YouTube and not put in my YouTube link or anything, but like I have the same name for everything. Yeah. So I didn't want them to go on YouTube and look up like, man, I paid $80 for these. You only paid $60?
I'm so glad you say that, because I can't believe sometimes the amount of people that, like you say, use the same name or will drive traffic to their Instagram where they're showing their cheap finds or
Right,
like
right.
pictures with their animals or anything, which isn't a big deal to a lot of people, but like someone with like me with extreme pet dander allergies,
Yeah.
I could not see a picture of like the shoes I bought you next to your cat.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm surprised when people include like check me out on Instagram. And I think that's more of a Poshmark thing than anything. Poshmark sellers love to like draw the attention to their Instagram. And I want to keep like those are two separate businesses. Yes.
Yeah.
This is like there's me as like the sourcer and the reseller, and then there's me as the seller.
Right.
I don't want everyone to know I'm a reseller on eBay.
Yeah.
Because they think they can get a better deal too.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
That was so cool. He gave you a shout out in his video. I don't know who they're talking about. I get so lost in this chat, but I'm glad you guys have time over there. Open a return case, put the hat into a small flat rate, and return it. So maybe he got a hat that was not in a box. That is one thing. That is the only time I have had someone complain. And since you're such a hat aficionado, you would probably agree. I shipped a hat in an envelope once, and that was, see, he's shaking his head at me. So maybe there was like, maybe those people with the Timberlands are just like super, picky with their sneakers. I'm like, what's going to happen to this hat? Nothing.
It's not going to have the form, Rachel. When you have the hat, it's about
it's the shape.
It's the outer, it's the quality of how it looks on the outside.
Okay.
Yes, because they said that. No, they totally agreed with you. So I put it in a box now, and I'll reuse boxes for stuff that like comes to the house but I had like sandwiched the bill between two pieces of cardboard like I would have a photograph, and I made this like homemade janky box, and they were not having it. They were like, seller could have put this in a box, but they still left positive. Thank God my lesson didn't negative, but I took that, like you said, Jasmine, I have to realize that not everything that I'm doing is perfect. And if we take it as constructive criticism, like I left a girl negative on Poshmark the other day, and it was because she took 10 days to ship the item.
What?
10 days. Like if I didn't want it, I would have canceled. And I was like, no one sees that on Poshmark. I'm just going to be honest with her.
Yeah.
Because I think that would help her business grow.
Right.
So,
so on Poshmark, you don't have like a certain time frame?
It's 5 days, and then they moved it down to 3. So she was well beyond that. I think I could have canceled, but I really wanted the bag because it was vintage Coach, and I collected that. I asked them to revise it. I'm not affiliated with the manufacturer. They revised to neutral. Not great, but better. Yeah, at least you got a revision. eBay put my account on hold because my account thinks don't match. They don't know how to handle this. I don't think he was making fun of your beard. I think he was respecting. Oh, I don't know. I did see Jimmy say, was someone making fun of my beard? If it was my husband, he's probably showing you respect for your beard. I'm being funny, Marcus. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to miss any of you guys talking about bad. Oh, they're hats in boxes always. Yeah. Oh, Israel says hi to everybody. You guys say hi to Israel. That's my 5-year-old. Hi, Israel.
Hi, Israel.
What's up, Israel? You're beautiful, Israel.
Yes, beautiful. He will probably come down here and tell me good night later because he asked me earlier if he could. As a hat lover, I hate creases or bends on my hats. Yeah, you guys are serious about it.
You can't be smushed like a pancake,
I've bought designer bags that show up in envelopes. I mean,
but they're flat anyway, kind of,
I guess, but I don't want it like. And Jasmine, do you want your purse to show up in a bag?
Yeah, to be honest with you, ever since I had my son, I don't even do purses anymore like that.
No. I carry 2 things, and my purse is typically empty because like even my firearm I don't put in my purse. It's on my person, and so I have like my keys and my phone and my wallet.
Necessity.
But I just love purses so much that I'll carry them like practically empty just to carry a beautiful bag.
That's so sad. And I mean, I have a closet full of them.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. I do the Coach wallet. So like I have a cute little Coach wallet I wear around the wrist.
Oh, like a wristlet. That's perfect.
Yes, I love those.
Set on too many of my hats in the past, and it literally killed a small piece of meat. You guys are legit about the
I
hats.
know that
Okay.
feeling, Marcus.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
hurts, brother. It hurts.
I set on a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses once. That was the last pair
Ooh.
of expensive shades I ever bought myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot. You know, our daughter, we got her a pair of Ray-Bans. Remember
Yeah.
those? And once
She couldn't find them.
yeah, so we made her go get some from the dollar store.
Yeah.
So we not, you gonna learn your
Yeah.
lesson.
That's how I have to do. I'll be wearing like Gucci and Coach and like Dollar Tree sunglasses.
Right.
When I grow up, I'll get some nice sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you're a
Like,
reseller, it's like you like even like my shoes. I probably only wear like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Like, the
So
same pair.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
So-
can have nicer things like people don't understand. And that's how I came to thrifting, was out of like necessity at first, because we didn't have much. Like whenever my oldest son was very, very little, it was out of necessity. Like he needed new clothes, or I needed something for work because I was starting a new career. And so everything was thrifted. And then it was out of, well, I can get better brands if I thrift them than what I could afford off the rack. And I mean, like, I wish more people would see that. And it's funny that the same people that won't walk into Goodwill will shop on Poshmark or eBay. I'm like,
Right.
you know, you could cut out the middleman here
Yes.
and save quite a bit of money if you just, because it's all coming from there. Drew said, ain't nobody got time for flat hats.
Because Rachel, are you in the ministry at your church?
We have been children's pastors on and off for a decade, but currently we're not serving, no.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we just, you know, anywhere God wants to use me, though. We had a guy ask us once if we were an hour and a half from home, and he didn't have a place. Like, by all rights, I shouldn't have even approached this man. We shouldn't have been where we were at, but you know how God works. And we pulled up to this gas station, and he's like smoking a cigarette. He has a cell phone. He's in a wheelchair, and he's back behind the building. Like, it looks like he's just back there chilling out, but God just kept pressing it on my heart to ask this man if he had a place to go. I'm like, why? This is so embarrassing. I swear God makes me so uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
And so Drew's inside the gas station, and I walk over to him and I'm like, how's it going? And, you know, why are you talking to me, type of thing. It doesn't take long talking to him before I realize he's from Florida. He's now in Kentucky because he hitchhiked his way up. He has no car, nowhere to sleep. It was like 30 degrees the night before, and he said he had tried to stay in Walmart, but eventually they had to kick him out, and he slept behind the carts, he said, because that was the only thing to break the wind.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And so we're an hour and a half from home, and he says, I would love like to have a room or something tonight, but I don't know any of the churches around here. Do you guys know any churches?
Wow.
And I was like, dude, we are the church.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? It doesn't matter if we're an hour and a half from home. Yeah, we know the church because we are the church. You know?
Right.
And I said, stay here, because we had this tiny little S10, and he's got this big wheelchair and everything. I was like, stay here. We're going to go get you a room, and we'll be back for you. And he was like, okay. And so we drove over like to a hotel that you could see within walking distance, because it was obvious we were going to have to like push his wheelchair over there and like get him there. I didn't want him to have to cross a lot of traffic or anything. Well, we go in there, and you know, they want to know like who's staying in a room when you put up like your card and everything. So I felt like I needed to be really honest with this girl about this room is not for us, and tell her the story. And she said, wow, okay. She said, well, 2 things. Number 1, you need to go down to the next exit on the highway, because they have a coupon that'll save you $20 on this room. She said, and then number 2, take my car. And I've never met this girl in my life. She hands me the keys to her SUV. She's like, he's not going to fit in your truck. And I was like, okay. So we took her car, and then we get back over there, and these guys from Union Pacific Railroad had come in, and she said, I told them the story, and they all collected this money to give him.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And hands me an envelope of money for this guy. And so I was like, if we have done all this for him, but we haven't asked him the number 1 most important thing. So I was like, sir, like, you're getting a room tonight. You're going to watch the Cardinals game. You got a hot shower, but I got to ask you, do you know Jesus Christ? And he said, yeah, my mama introduced me to Jesus when I was a kid. And
Wow.
I was just like, man, I mean, we were talking about being in the right time at the right place, and it gets even better. So after that, I said, we got to make sure he has something to eat to take with him. So let's run by the Dollar Tree real quick, because we can get more bang for our buck. We can get like beanie weenies and forks and I'm looking around in there, and I told you it was like kind of winter time. And so I said, do you guys sell umbrellas? I never ask people because they never know where anything is. And I said, do you sell umbrellas? And she said, no, come here. And walks me behind the counter and pulls her umbrella out of her purse and says, I feel like you need this more than I do.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, just all these people. It wasn't just me listening to God that day. It was like all of these people. And so, yeah, we serve in the church wherever he wants us that day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's like such a long story, but hopefully it might encourage somebody.
Now, Rachel, that was beautiful.
Thanks. I know he's more beautiful than anything we could say or do. Anyone know where I can buy cardboard forms to keep the shape of hats while storing? What are they called? I haven't seen the cardboard ones. Do you know what that is, Derek?
Now it's the cardboard that goes right, like on the inside part or right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know where to get anything like that?
Now you can just take a regular what is it? You know the USPS, the envelopes. Oh
yeah, so a flat rate, non-padded, just a flat rate envelope.
And you can just cut it and then just whoop.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So mainly the hats that I sell are vintage, and what I do is fold them in half and stack them all inside of each other. Is that bad?
What do you mean fold them in half?
Like, you know how you could take the back part of a hat and you could collapse it into the front?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant like this way.
No.
I was like, no, Rachel.
You mean like from the back to
from
the
the
front.
back to the front.
Yeah.
So I collapse the back into the front, and then I just have them all stacked up in a drawer. Is that
fine? That's fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to cut any. But I bet that there's probably a template online that you could print off, that you could take the envelopes that Derek's talking about and then cut out that template. That way you would have all the creases that you're looking for.
Yeah, and they have they have the shaper. It's like a white little thing that opens up. It opens up. You just put the hat in there, close it up, and it kind of keeps the form of it. And you can wash your hats in it too, like in the dishwasher or whatever.
I see that in the dishwasher, and I had one of those once. I got it with Pepsi points actually back in the 90s, because I got this Mountain Dew hat with my Pepsi points, and it came with that. And I'm like, I don't ever want to wash a hat in the dishwasher.
Yeah. Not with the other dishes, but just by itself.
I don't feel like I could do it. And then like Josh Harry Tornado was talking the other day about taking his thrifted hats, but after he scrubbed them, then if they need a little extra cleaning, he'll run them through the dishwasher. And I'm like, I don't know anything about what these people had on their heads.
Yeah, that's a new one for me too, Rachel.
It's not going to happen. But Jasmine, tell me, does Derek clean sneakers in the kitchen sink?
No, he does not.
Not at all. Would he if you didn't tell him not to? Because that's a guy thing.
That's a great question to ask him. Would you, babe?
I can tell by that look on his face. He's like, what's the problem here?
For me.
If I was close to the kitchen,
no,
I probably would. No, I probably would. I still probably wouldn't, because I don't know where people feet been, and
I mean, the good thing is like how our office is set up. It's actually connected to a hall bathroom in our upstairs, so it kind of works out that he uses that. But we try to keep the business in our little.
It's like I got my own bathroom, upstairs in a room.
Yeah, it's so hard, like, to keep it in one room. Where does it spill over into in y'all's house? Like, what is the one room that gets overrun more than anywhere else?
The hallway.
Rooms, plural. Rachel.
Well, we listed a lot of the items that were in.
We are working through it. My husband knows this has been my,
I'm just saying, if I could have a Jasmine suddenly join my team in Q4 and list all my unlisted stuff, like, you need to take that girl out for dinner. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and I was telling her, like, listing, most resellers do not like listing, but she likes it. She likes it. She has no problem with listing. She can list all day long.
I really can.
Keep that motivation to list, because that's what, like, today I was just thinking, if you did any other job the way we do reselling and YouTube, like, imagine if you're like, I went to work 3 times last month. Why am I not making more money?
Right.
People will be like, you have to work 40 hours a week. But as a reseller, we'll be like, I listed 3 things this week. My sales are so slow. Yeah. Do you use dishwashing detergent? Does anyone know the answer to this question?
With washing the hats?
Yes. Do you use dishwashing detergent? Like, what kind of a soap are you supposed to use?
So
don't judge me. He's the kitchen sink.
I'm with you, Drew.
Have you washed in the dishwasher?
So I haven't washed a hat in the dishwasher in like a long time.
I don't know what kind of soap you would
Not in my
use.
dishwasher.
That's
What
hilarious.
did I use? I don't know what I used. I probably used the dishwashing.
Because I would be afraid to put laundry detergent in there. What if it suds up differently? And
That's
you got
what I'm wondering.
You don't put
like,
you don't put like the liquid dish. I mean the liquid soap. You don't put that in it because it's too many. Yeah.
Okay, he says, I do. Yeah, I got some stinky hats out of a storage. You didn't wash the stinky hats in your dishwasher?
Yeah, I mean it works. Like
maybe he uses paper plates.
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, don't take my word for it, is right. I usually soak it in OxyClean. That's what I need to tell my son to use on some shoes. I gave him a couple pair of shoes that were sitting in my death pile because I didn't want to clean them because someone gave them to me. And since he's wanting to start flipping shoes, I was like, Dello, if you will clean these, you can have them to sell. And it was Nikes.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what kind they were. Like, I have no idea. So my ugly thing that happened actually happened this morning. Like I said, my week hasn't really been too rough over on eBay, but this is just something that I think is so annoying. And like, we need to be conscious of it as a buyer and as a seller. So my husband sourced this Conway Twitty baseball tee, and it was pretty cool looking. I posted a picture of him holding it over on my Instagram, and he found it for like $1, single stitch, from the 80s, beautiful, like a little faded, but comps were looking pretty good, but comps were only available in red, and they were all around $60. I was like, okay, this is a good single stitch one. This is a good tee. Because some of them I'm getting like $15, $20 out of, but this was a good one. And I thought it was so ugly. But I listed it last night, and I immediately got this offer. And what did she offer me? Like $35 or $38. So I had it listed at $68. And I was like, I just listed this last night, but again, I want a car more than I want this stupid Conway Twitty shirt. So yeah, right. So I took $10 off immediately. I said 58. And she comes back, or he, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, and says $40. So I come back again and I said, 58 is about as low as I would want to go. I have the only one in this colorway listed. I just listed it last night, and I'm one of the lowest priced ones because one was listed at like 75 and one was listed at 99.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so yeah, they were lowballing.
And someone else was at like 55. And I said, well, I'm one of the lowest and none are available in purple. And so 58 is about as low as I'd want to go. Well, they come back and said, one just like this recently sold for $14.50. I don't want to pay over 40. If you reconsider, then my offer, is there, and declined my counter. And I was like, well, am I wrong? So I searched every keyword I could possibly think of to try to find if one truly had sold for $14.50. Right. And I'm just not finding that.
Yeah, they made it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Or was recently like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
People are like, and it was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But I just thought, like, that's never a way to negotiate. You're never going to get the upper hand if you're just rude in negotiations with somebody.
Right.
And I mean, although I haven't had a lot of ugly attitudes, I guess, over on eBay this week, that's just kind of my ugly because, it's hard not to take it personal when someone leaves you such a personal comment. Well, I guess that's not like personal about me, but it's just like so direct and kind of insinuates that you overprice the item or that you're naive because we do so much research. I wouldn't have even bought that shirt if it was a $14 shirt. I had other things to buy today.
Right.
And I mean, so how do you guys handle when someone leaves just ugly comments or feedback or like messages you like that?
So I mean, many buyers have messaged me or messaged us and was like, gave us the sob story. Their mom died. They need the money to, pay for her funeral and different things like that. And I just say if you don't open up a return like case or whatever, like, like I'm not really trying to, because I don't know you, especially if I sold something expensive. It's like I don't know to believe you or what.
Very true.
So, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just like you kind of gotta just rely on what you just gotta, you get that feeling where it's like,
Yeah, that's
should I,
conversation.
should I, accept their, return or whatever. But because I had a buyer, this is crazy. I had a buyer that messaged me and said the guy who bought these shoes passed away, and we need the money to help him with his funeral costs. So I already shipped the shoes and everything, got delivered, and then they sent me that message.
Were they expensive shoes, first of all?
Yeah, they were a Mephisto. They paid $140 for them.
Okay.
So I was like, this sounds like something, that happened before to me. So anyway, they didn't open up a case or anything, and they ended up shipping the shoes back. So when I got the shoes, I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, oh. So I went and, refunded them their money, whatever. But I just felt so bad, that happened. And, I just told them, I'll be praying for their family and everything like that. But they never messaged me back. They probably was like, he's a loser. So,
yeah. Sometimes I feel like that too, but I'm just like, you know what? God's never going to accuse me of like, you were too nice to somebody. Yeah. And so I like that at the end of the day, you kind of washed your hands in the situation. Like, I'm praying for you, and you still have the shoes to list. I take it they sent them back to you in just as good a condition.
Yeah, they sent them back. I mean, package. Same thing. They didn't even open it. They just, sent it back. So.
Yeah. What's nasty comments say more about them than you? That's the way I look at it. Yeah, we need to keep that in mind on Instagram and YouTube as well. Yeah. Like, I mean, ugly comments can really get to you sometimes. And like my husband and I were having a conversation this week about ugly comments that were in person. And I was like, first of all, the person that told you about the ugly comment, like, what did they think there was to gain by telling you about it? They clearly wanted to hear you gossip back about this person. And so just like always make sure that your role in the situation is stand up, because you can't control other people.
Right.
And like when that comment come through and she's like, it's $14.50 shirt, I'm offering you 40, like, take it, stupid. That's like, that's how I read it, even though it's not how she said it. And like your immediate reaction is so fleshy. And I'm like, that's like everything you do, you're supposed to work as unto the Lord, right? And if I go blocking her or being hateful about it, like that's probably not the best way to go. It takes a lot for me to block a buyer. What circumstances under what circumstances, I should say, do you guys block someone from being able to buy in your store?
Yeah, so if somebody's like cursing,
like disrespectful,
like you're gonna get blocked.
Yeah,
I'm not. We're not gonna take all of that. Like it's not that serious.
Right.
Like you're buying some used shoes. Like
yes, it's like you're exactly right. It's not that serious. Like there's so much going on in the world. Ship the shoes back if you need to.
Right.
And I think I look at, even with negative comments, I guess coming from like the corporate environment that I've worked in, I worked at a college for years in administration. Every industry, you're going to deal with the negativity, and you're going to deal with ugly colors. For me, I worked at a Bible college. So a lot of people are like, oh, you work at a Bible college, everybody loves them. I'm like, until you mess up their financial aid, and you see all types of shades of leaders and people like that. And so I think for me, it's always kind of been, when you have the integrity in the work that you do, you know what I'm saying? Like there will be naysayers, negative comments, but like you said, Rachel, like not stooping to that level, but also not feeling guilty about being firm in what you say. And just committing to that. Like, I think even when we were talking about in our store, like a lot of times we offer several discounts. Like we already try to price our items very, very low. So even when we run sales in the store, it's like, you're getting a great deal and you're getting a great product. Like my husband will literally spend hours sometimes cleaning the shoes and fixing them up and, whitening them, like doing all the extras. So when people are doing the most with that, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, okay, you can do that over there, but there will be another buyer, even if it has to sit for another week or so. But, I guess it just kind of comes with the territory. But for me, when you know that you're already doing everything, as you said, Rachel, unto the Lord, or doing it in excellence. Yeah, I'm not wavered by you trying to make me feel naive, because we do our homework,
And that type of stuff too. Like, I mean, growing up, and some people in the chat probably, heard me talk about this, but it's like growing up, I grew up poor. So, and people would talk about me, they would laugh at me and stuff. So it's like, as an adult, like, it's funny to me, And it's like, that's not like how they see me. That's not how God sees me.
Yes,
So
that's
say
exactly
whatever,
right.
yeah, like you can say whatever you want to say. Like I got tough skin, you know, and it's like,
it's
you
not
know,
gonna fake. Even
yeah.
tell her about the buyer that messaged you this week. The one with the profanity and all that was coming at you sideways.
Oh yeah, they was just like, snapping, using the F word, everything, and I was like,
What
don't
are you
even know
talking
who
about?
this person is. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the profanity for in selling a listing?
Just
Like,
tripping.
you know,
I'm like, you must really, really want this item, you know, and because I won't give it to you for literally, like, I might as well give it to you for free.
Right? Like, we're not making a profit. This is a business.
So it was because you weren't accepting their offer that was what induced this. Oh my gosh! Then of course, again, that's no way to negotiate. Like, I'm going to dodge selling to you now.
Yeah, and it's like they wanted like $60 some off, and I'm like, come on, like really, $60
We're not
off?
giving this stuff away.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. They bought it for just that. Wow.
Oh, wow. So if anyone's just listening, Tammy says, I had someone buy a kid's tea set from me, and then 3 hours later they said if they could please cancel the sale because the child they bought it for died in the hospital. I feel awful for them. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, I try to keep in mind that someone, especially like you say, someone coming at you sideways, like, everyone's going through something. And I think, like, if we enter the world with that type of vision, that like everyone is battling something today. And it's like you said, people can tear you down, but if you have like the realization of who God says you are, like that's the difference in joy and happiness.
Yeah.
If I'm happy, it's because of something that happened today. But if I'm joyful, it's in spite of something that happened today. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can take joy.
It's your strength, you know, like even when I'm in a thrift store, like I'm not just looking for items and stuff. She said I block them all the time. Yeah. You know, I'm not just in there for, you know, just to be looking for items. Like every morning, you know, not every morning, but whenever I go thrifting, like I always say, Lord, like show me my assignment today.
Because interrupt my plans. I love that. I didn't know that about you, but that is our prayer daily in this house is God interrupt my plans.
Yeah. Because people are like really, really hurting out there. You know, they're dealing with stuff. And it's like if I'm just focused on, oh, I got to go out there, get items and make this money. It's like, what purpose is that? You know, because eventually as a reseller, you get tired of doing that. You know, it got to be something else that, you know, makes you want to go out there and stuff. Like matter of fact, yesterday I was talking to a guy, you know, that was at a thrift store, and he actually like working the shoes, fix up shoes or whatever. You know, he does all of that, deal with the shoes at the thrift store. And like long story short, we end up talking and connecting, and he was like, man, like you just like a great dude. And I was like, I don't know.
You might have been like right on time for him. And
right, but we connected. And long story short, I ended up inviting him to a men's like at my church we had like these men gatherings and stuff. So he said next week he's gonna come through. So I'm like, you know, when I see him, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Yeah. Like that means so much more than picking up something silverware for $10 and selling it for $700.
So that's what I'm on, you know. That's what we on. So
And I think like when you use your business, when you use your connections, when you use like God bless you in a business card, when you use any, like, I will never waste a platform. You know. And a lot of people are like, why do you try to spread the gospel on your YouTube? And, you know, I don't have a whole lot of people say that. There's not the persecution here. Like, if you are a Christian and thinking about speaking out, I promise you it'll be well received. But you never waste a platform. God's not going to look me in the eye one day and say, I gave you 3,431 people to spread the good news to, and you didn't do it. No, I can't do that. Even whenever I won my title as Mrs. Missouri, like they asked me, they said, one of the girls in the interview said, you know, you are like pretty firm in your faith and very outspoken. And like, do you think that's a good thing for this position and for this title? And I thought, man, I don't know how she feels. And I said, I will tell you. And she asked point blank, like, what if you were asked to back off on that? And I said, I would tell you that if the person you want for this position is not an outspoken Christian, then you'd better give it to someone else.
Straight up.
I could sit there and wrestle in my own mind about how she would receive it. And I could wrestle with how the audience receives that all day long, but I can't control that. The only thing I can control is the way God made me, and I'm going to answer to him one day, right?
Yeah. And it's about being bold,
Yeah.
Bold for Christ, man.
And even it's so funny. Yesterday, we were just talking about, even with our business, like the aspect of giving back, because especially like from the shoe aspect, like, one thing about my husband is, so he's done teaching, he's done basketball camps, like his college actually retired his jersey,
Oh, wow.
So like, he's a flipper, but there is a lot that he's given him. And so my thing is,
multifaceted.
yeah, and we have so many excess shoes now. So I'm like, babe, is there a way that we can look at giving back to younger, underprivileged boys? Because
awesome.
I mean, sometimes there are just some items we don't have time to list or flip. But even just that giving back aspect, I think that was one thing like we're going to start really looking at, because God has really blessed the business. You know what I mean? And it's not just to puff us up. Like, yes, we have goals and we're paying off debt. Like, we blessed his mom with a car, a few weeks ago from thrifting, which was amazing. But I think we're definitely at that point of like, how can we give back? Because the money will be there, The
it's
thrifting
not the last money you're ever going to make.
Yeah.
And when you see a need, when someone has a need, like it's not going to be the last $500 that you're going to make, or especially if you give it back to God, you're going to see it back. Yeah, he says, Bama Pig and Grinning says, we've been asked to encourage, pray, and just be a blessing to so many people while out thrifting. And God just wants to use you for sure. I've seen some sellers get negative feedback for putting pamphlets in a package they sent out. I have heard the same thing, that people didn't really appreciate that. And I can tell you for sure, when these go to any Asian countries, I'm going to write a special note on the back, because there are places that ship in GSP that the Bible is illegal.
Right.
We don't know what persecution is. And if this is the only time that they're going to hear Jesus loves you or God bless you, let it be from me. They might have bought that Cuisinart for a reason, right?
Right.
Yes, it does happen, what you said, and that's okay. What's up, awesome people? There's another pastor. I don't know if you got to hear our conversation tonight. If not, then you'll definitely have to check out the replay there, and honestly, and I've heard a few resellers say that they feel persecuted in this field, and that couldn't be further from my own experience. It seems like the more I share my faith, the more other resellers like we're Christian brothers and sisters. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. I don't feel that persecution, but the word tells me if I do, Jesus felt it first. So I'm good with that too.
I think too, persecution looks different for everyone, know, but because some people, like you can handle somebody telling you, all this about you, and other people, they're like, it hurts them, so it's kind of,
You're right. Yeah, sometimes it's the smallest thing that might roll right off my back, and someone else feels that pretty deep. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys feel that way also. It just depends on which branch of YouTube groups you're in. That's true. I probably get a censored version of a lot of YouTube chats that I'm in, and I'm good with that. Let the Spirit convict them, because I don't want to hear the language.
Jesus freaks, yes.
Oh yeah, there's no disguising the truth.
Yeah.
So since we've talked about good, bad, and ugly, you guys, and I know we talked a little bit about fourth quarter, tell me in your eBay and in your YouTube as well, what things do you have coming up that we can look forward to seeing from you? Because I'm hoping that everyone that's in the chat has headed over to your channel. If someone wouldn't care to drop a link again, head over and subscribe to them and give their videos a watch, because you're not going to be disappointed there. But tell me, what can we look forward to seeing now that you guys have a bit more free time, both of you, on your YouTube channel?
I'm gonna let her take that over.
What? Literally, there has been, I've been gradually kind of stepping more and more into his world, with the reselling, but I actually got a chance to start doing thrifting with my dad. So a lot of people don't know my dad is the original thrifter. That's kind of where I got my love of it from. Yeah,
growing up.
It's so funny,
you guys have to feature him.
Yeah, legit. My dad is more estate sales, yard sales.
Ooh, okay.
Every Saturday morning growing up, we would be there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Early
So that was and I loved it. We would be all around Atlanta. So when I met Derek and he was into it, my dad automatically loved him. He was like, oh, he's a thrifter, he's a keeper, and of course he loved the Lord.
That's
So
awesome.
so we've been working on some stuff like that. So we have a video we'll be dropping soon, right, babe?
Yep, couple days.
Yeah, because I legit just kind of took over. And I tried to document it.
Can
So
you
we're
come
working.
take over my channel too? List all my death file stuff and get my YouTube more organized.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's been really good. So, I think just kind of delving into that and getting a
Yeah.
lot of items. I think we are going to start back running some sales in our store, which is really good because, man, we have some great inventory that we found like the last few, even today, babe. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at your latest finds you had today.
Today was crazy. And thing is, I didn't even document it.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even record it. I mean, it was just.
I hardly ever record thrifting because here's my camera. It's actually sitting right here. So I'm using the Canon G7X. This is the camera that I film everything with. And like, it's a really cool camera. It flips up and you can like watch yourself while you're filming.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not trying to walk around the thrift store like this.
Right.
Especially when like no one in my town has a YouTube channel and no one resells. They would think I was like shoplifting or something. They'd be like, "Did you put the camera in first? Did you do that?" So I'm like, there's a few thrift stores that, like I say, do know I'm a reseller. They don't care if I film. I need to start going in there more because I feel like people love that content. Do you guys feel the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. And I think too, like we're gonna be focusing on more what sold videos because I know that's been like one of the comments is just, we can do thrifting videos, but people want to know how much we flipped it for. So we have a lot more.
I pick up a lot of brands that I'm not like that. The shoe brand that you talked about earlier, was that a soccer shoe? The one that you said the people returned 140. It started with an M, Mephisto or something.
Oh, Mephisto? No, they're dress shoes.
See, I've never heard that brand. And I think you could introduce people to a lot of designer brands that we're not even aware of with your what solds. Like if I walked past that, I would probably look it up because I would see the quality, but a lot of people may walk right past those and not pick them up.
And we just want to give more value and stuff. So, because before I was doing it all by myself. But not all by myself, but majority of it I was doing by myself. So it was kind of tough to do the what sold, to edit it, to go thrifting, to
the cleaning, the shipping.
Doing all of that, basically by myself.
Yeah.
But now that she's on board, we'll be doing more, like she said, what solds, which is gonna be really, really. We sold some pretty cool things.
Yeah, I mean, like even just recently. So I mean, I think for us, just kind of getting in the flow, like outside of just husband-wife thing, like as business partners now, like really working out what that looks like. So even like today, he was out thrifting, I was at home listing. We want to be more consistent on Instagram and YouTube. Like, so there are so many things we brainstormed about. So
and it's dope, man, working with you, boo.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to say hi to Brian real quick, but also to touch on that. My husband and I are both self-employed, so that means that we have a lot of time together. I mean, we're coming and going in the house. I work from the house. He's an electrician, but he'll like come home for lunch or come to get materials and stuff. We see more of each other than a lot of married couples. And so, I mean, a lot of people may be like, oh no, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of each other, but it is a good thing. And
it is. And it's also good to have your own space too. Let me just say that.
So look, Rachel, so she works downstairs majority of the time, and I work up here.
Yeah, so I kind of created my own little office space downstairs. So I do my listings downstairs now. He's up here, so even though we're together, we still have like our areas that we can go to. I enjoy when you go out thrifting and I'm home.
Yeah.
Even though I'm gonna do more out thrifting with you.
Definitely. For sure.
I think that's good because like my husband was home the other day. He was putting that outlet in my office so that I could move my desk in there. And he's like, we couldn't work together because like I think I pinched his butt or something.
Drew, stop, Rachel.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to get any work done if we were working together. I just be messing with him all day. Or we get to talking about other stuff. And so it's good that you guys have your own spot, actually.
Yeah, we love it. And then we do our Monday meetings now. That's something I did that I'm glad that he does with me. So we actually like do like a briefing every week to kind of kick off like what went well last week.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, what are the the sales we want to run in the store and all of that. So after we do our Monday meeting, our
schedule for the week.
We go about our business throughout the week.
So you're talking about sales, and just recently, I started utilizing sales more. Like I have promoted listings, but I started running sales, and I'll run like obscure 7% off sales and stuff. But here's the deal. I currently have 1,422 things listed on eBay. I'm trying to buy a car. If I made $10 on every item, that's $10,000, you know, on 1,000 of them, that's 10 grand.
Right.
If I made 20 on it, like that's my car. So I'm like, what kind of sale? I'm scared to death. I want to do 25% off or 50% off this weekend. I really do. I'm not turning down any reasonable offers on my eBay right now, but I'm scared to death because then you have like one trickle in at a time and you're like, can I really take half off of this? So will you guys say something to encourage me about the sales? Like, what's the biggest sale that you ran? Were you ever cringing whenever you ran a big sale?
So I would say, honestly, like if you do, like you said, 25, 30% off, I would just say, look at the big picture. Like your goal is not like, yeah, you're going to make a profit, but your goal is the car.
I know.
You know, so it's like what I know that if I sell not majority, but if I sell a lot of these items over time, I'm going to get that car.
Yeah.
You know, so your goal is the car, and it's like you know, are not trying to, you know, accept the best offer or whatever just to say I made a big profit or whatever. It's like, no, I'm taking whatever so I can get this car. Yeah,
big picture.
You're right. Because I mean, like my husband said, Rachel, you know, I know we've talked about how to pump the gas on this. He's like, we are to the point where we need to pour gasoline on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my sales have increased just so much, even in trying to trade my death pile for a car. And so I'll share a little numbers real quickly. And maybe you guys can tell me if you have a number goal on eBay for fourth quarter. So my last quarter has been which is summer slowdown. Am I right? June, July, July, August, September has been my biggest quarter ever since I've been on eBay. And I just joined Marcus's club today. I guess we hit it at the same time. We both hit 12K for our 90-day total today. Nice. And so that's a big number for me. It took me like 397 sales to do that because I only have an ASP of around $30. So by the end of the year and looking at fourth quarter, I want to hit that $15,000 90 day. Yeah. And I see no reason why that won't happen. Do you have numbers that are like your goal by the end of the year?
So yeah, so we want to hit 80,000 a month. But no.
I was like, tell me what y'all do.
Oh my gosh, I know you're selling like fire crispy shoes over there, but dad goes,
right, like, man, Louis Vuitton, that's all we selling. But now
everyone in the chat just gained so much respect and then you tore it right back down.
Yeah, but really just focusing on like not just like the numbers, because I mean literally like what we make on our first 2 weeks covers all of our expenses for the month.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You know, so
you're exactly right. Like it's not about what you make, it's about how much you spend. Unfortunately, I have this huge debt right now that I'm trying not to have a debt. So my numbers have to be big, but you're exactly right. Like if you can live for $2,000 a month, you know, or less, if you can, then you don't have to make so much. Then you can run around the house chit-chatting with each other instead of working.
Yeah. And that's why, you know, it's fun and, you know, the freedom, because it's like, we don't have to worry about, you know, man, you know, bills got to be paid. It's like,
you know, we try to really grind it out.
Yeah, we good for a good while, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think at least I know recently we haven't really ran any sales in the store just because we've been trying to get our inventory numbers up in our store. But you know, I know we said we're about to start running the sales because once the sales start, like it's gonna trickle, like you said, Rachel. Like it's gonna be way more. And we've been selling like without running sales. So my thing is, imagine running sales, how much inventory we're gonna get.
Yeah, and I only run my sales on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because people are most active. And Dreaming on a Budget, who I was talking about earlier, he actually had a good point. He said, I'm slowly trying to raise all of my prices because like I'm cognizant of the fact that I am going to run sales when I list something. That way I can still get about what I'm asking for, because there's something about that red slash through there is whatever.
Yeah.
It makes it different.
But he's raising his prices to the point where he can run a massive Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale.
That's how you do it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And still get what you were looking for, but they don't know that.
Yep. So Zach said 20% off. What's the highest that you guys have ever ran? I've only ever ran, like my highest I think was 10% off.
Yeah, so the highest that I ran, this was months ago, was 50%.
That's what I'm thinking about doing this weekend. Am I a crazy lady?
Yeah.
Did you see huge sales, and did anything make you say, what the heck have I done?
No, so I had a ton of items that needed to be listed, but not enough room. So that's why I ran the 50% off sale. And I mean, it was, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it was really overwhelming because I had 2 day, and it was 2 day shipping. So I would sell like 15. I remember one day, because I run my sales throughout the whole week and the weekend.
Okay.
Right? So I remember one day I sold like almost 20 items. And I was out thrifting. I was just like,
I need to go.
yeah, I was like, not, yeah, but I wasn't like, you know, like I don't want the sales to stop, but I'm like, man, like all these sales keep coming in. I gotta ship them now, you know.
Yeah.
But it was yeah. So you're gonna see a lot of you know, people buying and even with the offers, if you have offers turned on when you run a sale, they're gonna want, you know, they're gonna offer you too. So it's like,
you're very right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my little boy's coming down here to tell me good night. You want to say good night, Israel? Come tell everybody hi. You don't want to. He doesn't want to tell you guys.
Aww.
He does want to tell me good night. I love you.
Good night, Israel. Israel, give me a high five. Good night.
Give him a high five.
Give me a high five. Okay.
He said, no, not tonight. Not tonight.
Good night, sweetheart. Run back up there with daddy and go snuggle, okay? Mwah. I love you. You look so tired. He looks like he could fall asleep right here in my arms. It's still past his bedtime though.
Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to go to do the homecoming stuff and take our oldest to the homecoming dance. Well, my husband's doing all that, so you gotta go back up there with daddy, okay? He'd just sit here and sleep on the chat. You'll have to come get him, Drew. You guys will get to see this beard too. Boy, he's just like dead weight over here. I think he.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he was already asleep. Yeah, that makes sense. Here we go. He doesn't want to walk back up those stairs. Good night, buddy. I love you.
What's up, Drew?
You gotta
get up there, man. Hey, Drew, what's the secret, man? Mine just won't. It won't go no.
Lots of veggies.
That's probably pretty true. Now he's gonna walk up the stairs carrying this 50-pound child. You are the real MVP, honey. He said lots of veggies is the key to that long beard because we're vegan. If you guys didn't know that.
No.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Rachel, there are a few people that are buying their parents a car. Just saying, I saw that. That's my dad saying that. Oh my God. If my YouTube ever takes off, I'll give my dad a car. That's what, yeah.
Just saying.
Do it, Rachel. It helps drive watchers also. We would gain people from the sale and then they would buy it at full price after. Okay. I will say one thing, 50% off with a few excluded. So when you guys exclude stuff, like I usually just say everything is on sale, and then do I just go in and hand select everything I don't want on the sale, right?
Yeah, we do the same.
I have 1,400.
10W30 also.
He said 10W30 helps with the beard. I don't know if you're supposed to drink that or put it on there.
I'm not drinking that, but yeah.
But I don't know, 1,400 listens is a lot to go through and hand select stuff. And then Carissa, I was just about to say, Carissa, she did 30% off to clear out some makeup. And then I think it was her one day we were talking about sales and she said that she excluded items under like $10 or something. Like they're already cheap enough, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening here. Do you see a theme here? Parents, cars, keep that in mind in the future. You guys hear my parents? They both drive nicer cars than me, so they're poking fun at me. They're not really asking for a car. My car smokes, if you guys didn't know. Not the one I drive every day. It's just parked while I'm driving this other one. And I refuse to take on debt. We don't have any car payments. We're debt-free outside of our mortgage. And that's the goal, is to stay debt-free outside of our mortgage. But
yeah.
Guys, it's 2 a.m. sometimes working. I feel like that's all I do is work, but I know this too shall pass, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's temporary. It's not like a permanent thing. You know, some people who work a 9 to 5, like they're permanently, you know what I'm saying? Like this is for years. Like, you know,
they never get to like let off the gas. It's that way all the time.
Yeah. And you know, we have a goal of like paying off debt. Like we said, if we grind for like 3 to 5 years, you know what I mean? Like really, really
including the mortgage. But I mean, like as far as the debt that we have, like we already have the funds. We just gotta pay it, you know?
And
Yes.
in
Yeah.
3 to 5 years, like your YouTube is going to be so big, you guys will pay your bills with that alone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was listening to videos today while I drive on Friday for Meals on Wheels, and I was listening, and it was people talking about how to grow your YouTube channel. So some things that I'd like to try to implement, because I just feel like the more reseller channels that are giving out good content, the more we can try to set people free of what you're talking about, where they clock in every day 9 to 5. They trade, 40 plus hours of their life every week to somebody. And like once you've experienced this type of freedom, you want everyone to have it.
Yeah.
And so
I'm a believer, Rachel. Like my husband has been telling me for years, like with me working my 9 to 5. And, it's not that I didn't like my job. I loved it. Income wise, it was not going to change, or I would go through that process of negotiating my salary, like you spend hours on end and you still got to negotiate even to get a pay increase. And sometimes the answer is no. So I think for me, like now this is like my second month being full time in the business.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like I see what my husband's been telling me all along, like waking up, doing what you got to do, having the freedom to go to my daughter's school when I want to.
Yes.
This morning we were doing flashcards with our son who's 2 years old, and we've been teaching him ABCs and just different letter sounds, but we were doing that while I was listing stuff. So
that's awesome.
Just the freedom that we have.
It's I wouldn't trade it for anything. Not a knock on the 9 to 5, but there's a whole world outside of it that you can't even fathom until you're fully in it.
And some people go ahead.
That's exactly it. Like if your only goal with YouTube is for it to take off so that you can be monetized, or so that, that's, don't get me wrong, a huge perk, because we put more into this than reselling sometimes. So don't get me wrong, it enables me to be able to do this more. But if that's your only reason, then you still will be chasing it forever. Like I feel like you have to be passionate about pulling other people over here and telling people, because that's how I learned to resell, was on YouTube, like YouTube University.
So Rachel, how do you find balance in like the YouTube world and the reseller world? Because I love how you made that kind of distinction that you were mentioning earlier, but how do you balance?
It is definitely pretty difficult.
Sorry.
I mean, this causes a bit more consistency, is saying that I'll be on every Friday night, but I don't want this to pull away from putting out 2 videos a week, which it did last week. The week before I was a little more inconsistent. So, I guess it's different when you love what you're making content about, because like if I was making content about drills because that was the most popular thing that people looked up on YouTube, then all day long people would be asking me questions about it and I would have to talk about drills and I didn't care. It would seem more like work. But like getting to do this, I mean, again, it's another thing that I wish more people would realize around me, the potential to be able to monetize doing something that you love like this. I struggle more with finding balance with family time sometimes, because like I have to make myself stop reselling at the end of the day because I like it. It's just like what you said, Jasmine, like I like listing. I like sourcing. On my birthday, I went sourcing. Like how many of you guys in the chat go sourcing on your birthday?
You gotta love it to do that. Yeah.
You do. How many of you would have clocked in to your 9 to 5 job on your birthday if you were given the opportunity to take the day off? Like nobody would. And so I think being successful in this, you have to be passionate about it. But sometimes like that work family balance can be skewed because it's so much fun,
Yeah. It's like an outlet. You can kind of like get away when you go out thrifting. It's like what is it? Like therapy in a way.
Retail therapy, but I guess it's not retail. Thrifting therapy for sure.
Resale therapy.
So where do you guys throughout the day, do you have your 2-year-old? Is he in daycare? Or do you have him with you while you're listing? And
usually 3 days out the week he's with her mom, and then 2 days out the week he's with us.
Awesome.
So it works out. Yeah, my mom is just at home right now, so she is full Grammy mode. Shout out to all of the grandparents that are just so amazing, but my mom watches him. So we actually pulled him out of daycare right before COVID hit last year. We had just kind of sensed, we wanted to try to do the at home thing because again, my husband was reselling full time. So we were doing that before COVID, but especially when COVID hit, we were like, yeah, we're good. Let's just keep him home. Because I mean, he'll be 3 actually this month, at the end of this month. So side note, my son and Derek, they have birthdays back to back, a day
Aw.
apart. Yeah.
And is this month?
This month, yeah. So my son is the 27th, Derek is the 28th. So we have 2 birthdays that will be
And
planned.
Halloween all in the same week.
And then our daughter's birthday is a week after his. And then mine's is 2 weeks after my daughter's.
Oh my God.
So literally on top of fourth quarter, we have 4 birthdays that are happening within like 20 days, you know, coming up at the end of the month. So
and Halloween, because that's like a big deal with kids.
It's
costumes, and you know, like here they do Halloween over 2 different nights because the parks department does their thing one night, and then we have actual trick-or-treating a different night. And
end of the year for us is always busy, not including like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you know, our anniversary. We just celebrated our wedding anniversary, so we get really busy this time of year. So that's why, you know, the work-life balance, like you're talking about, Rachel, is like the nail on the head for us. You know, we have, you know, just kind of learning how to make that balance work. But that's the piece that I love. Like, you know, we'll do like, and we do lunch dates now for like, you know, the couples doing this together. So we don't do date nights. We do like a date day, you know. I love, like, we went, where did we go, babe, on the other day? I think we did Olive Garden one time, but it was the kids, you know, were away, and we were like, you know what, let's go early. You know, we had already, I think we took packages. We had to ship some packages.
Well, that was when we did the video. That was like, what, 2 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah, but we had a whole set of packages. So we loaded up the car, you know, went to the post office, shipped the packages. We went out to eat, which was amazing. Then came back home and listed, and it was great.
Yeah.
That is exactly what we do. Because like we don't, my parents and my husband's parents, neither of them live within hours of us. And so we couldn't have a date night. So we do exactly what you guys do. We go off on a Wednesday and go, you know, drive to another town and have a nice meal, or just sit and talk to each other. Like, other than outside of my husband not being a reseller, lots of similarities. Good night, Carissa. Thanks for being here and being an awesome moderator. And I'm sure everyone else is probably getting tired also. So your kids, are they like, I might have to let you guys go so that you can tend to your children as well.
They sleep.
We got our son down early, and then our daughter's with her grandparents. So it's good. Only thing is, like I told my husband, like our son sometimes will go to sleep and then, you know, wake up. And if you heard some screaming and I had to dismiss myself, that would be.
Oh my gosh. That is exactly that's why I told you my son was going to bed late, because I said, Drew, you cannot lay him down and then go pick up our other son from homecoming. I said, because if he wakes up and I'm in the basement, he's going to totally flip out.
Yeah. And the thing about those boys,
at the black screen again. But I'm so excited that you guys came on. I'm sure I'm going to have you back so we can talk shop again sometime. And you guys go binge watch their channel and run up those watch hours, because they deserve to be seeing the fruits of their labor on YouTube right now as well. They're putting out quality content. I'll be looking for that shoe video soon.
Yes, it is on the list, Rachel. Don't worry. We would definitely shoot it to you.
Awesome. I'd love to see it. And so I guess everyone in the chat had a great time tonight.
Rachel, I want to do a giveaway. But
you do?
Yeah, but I guess
I mean, if you'd like to do a giveaway, I won't stop you.
Okay. Only for the people who still here, the blessed people.
I mean, these are like the.
I say it's not about being the first. You know what I'm saying? The last shall be the first, right?
You're right. Yes.
Okay.
That wasn't in the right context.
What you got?
That's great. I should have asked you that. He's just the king of giveaways.
Yeah, he is. Yes. And we have inventory to give away. It's just kind of choosing what. But for those that saw like our video of like kind of organizing the whole office space, it's so good, you know, just kind of keeping it up, because now we can see all of the inventory, you know.
I use industrial shelving like what you guys have behind you in the totes.
Yeah.
It's the best, better. Especially for like heavy duty. Like, you know, we have like the boots and all of that. Like, it's perfect.
It's dope.
You might have a buyer for your reel to reel, it looks like. Okay, here we go.
Oh, nice.
We're ready to win something.
All
right, here we go. Can I get a drum roll?
pink.
They are like a lavender.
It's like
Oh
a
my
purple.
gosh, those are seriously cool. I'm not usually a Nike fan, but those are cool.
They are
Wow.
super nice.
And it looks like the swoosh is reflective as well. What model
Mhm.
shoe is this? I'm gonna, outside of thinking they're pretty, I'm gonna walk by that. So educate us before you give them away.
Yeah, I actually haven't even looked them up yet. They're called the Nike Rival.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, I looked them up before I bought them, but I just don't remember like.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give people the model number, but yeah, they're the Rival Nike Rival running
Mhm.
shoes.
Yeah. Size 11.
Yep.
Now these are men's.
These are size 11 in women. So
Okay.
So size, was it 11, 10, 9.5?
9.5. Gotcha.
Mhm. They are nice though.
Yep, 9.5 in men, 11 in women.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got the reflective swoosh, like you said, Rachel.
Yep.
They look like they're ready to win these shoes.
Yep.
How do you want to give these away?
I don't know. How do you want to give it away, Rachel?
Oh my gosh.
Put
I
it
don't
on
know.
the spot.
What do you want them to do?
We could have them all. I was over on Yenzer Picker's channel, and Angie was giving away cookies, and I kind of liked the way she did it because it was very simple. They said, pick a number between, like, we have, I think there's 42 people right now is what I'm showing. So if we say, like, pick a number between 1 and 60, and then so if someone else has your number, then you need to pick something else. It's the first person to guess that number. So I'll write down a number.
Okay.
Or you guys could write down a number if you want. You write down the number, okay? So those are the rules. You guys grab a paper or anything you want. Don't put your numbers down yet, okay? Let's let them write down your number.
No,
we can put it in the chat right here, right?
No.
It's just between us.
No,
right?
not yet. No, just.
I mean, a private chat, so me and you can see it.
Just to you directly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can do that. You guys just have to believe us what the number was.
I'll still write it down. How about
Okay.
that?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So think of a number, but we're not going to tell the chat what it is. And chat, don't write your numbers yet. Okay. I see you guys guessing numbers, but they might encourage them to not pick that number if they think someone has already guessed it. So no one put numbers yet. I will put a post here that says now. And as soon as you guys see that, then you can put a number between 1 and 60. And the first person that guessed that number, we'll wait until everyone guesses. But the first person that responded with that number is going to be the winner. Like, this will be the easiest way you ever want a pair of Nikes in your life. Okay. So don't guess numbers yet. You guys are going to have to put your numbers back in if you've already guessed one. Okay. So here now. Okay. So now, if you've already put in a number, please put it in again. The first person to guess whatever number they wrote down, I want to see. Okay. Okay. So they have a number.
Oh, that's crazy. I already see it. I already see the winner.
I don't yet. So you guys are really filling it up fast.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Everyone's like, I want to win these. So if you see your number, because like whenever I was trying to win an order of her cookies, I think also, and then I was trying to win this little Frankenstein doll, and I had to go through 4 numbers before I got one that someone else hadn't already guessed. So
Yeah, they look quick.
See?
Mm-hmm.
okay, now you guys have to tell me if I'll give another like 30 seconds if you haven't already guessed your number. If you're listening, get over to your phone or your tablet or your computer, whatever you're listening to us on, and write down a number between 1 and 60, and which they may not be guessing because it's like I already said the order. Oh, that's funny. But who knows? The winner could say, or they
could hop off. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know because they're going to have to respond back with a comment. But
That's true.
okay. So has everyone guessed? Has everyone guessed? Y'all got a lot of numbers in here.
She's gonna let them know when it's closed.
Okay. All right. I'm going to type the word closed. Okay. And as soon as that goes up, no guesses after that.
I just don't want to because it's the
Okay.
ring light.
So the number was, you want to show them what the number was?
You ready? Let's see that. 33.
Oh yeah, your size.
Oh, is it his size?
Yes, his size.
Oh,
Is
that's
it?
awesome.
Yep.
Oh, dope.
Oh, that's awesome. Now we want to see a picture of you wearing those. His wife is pretty tall, so who knows? She could also be an 11. They might have to fight each other for those. I'm 5'7" and I'm a size 10. I don't know. She looks like she's pretty tall. Tell me if I'm wrong if she's not. If she's not. He said my basketball number. Oh, that's why he picked it.
Oh wow,
Oh, wow.
that's dope.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I want to recount. Oh, that's awesome. So you guys know each other on Instagram and
Right.
all the platforms. I'm sure you'll be able to get his address and avoid YouTube scammers because we all know that happens, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that you guys came here and abandoned your child upstairs to sleep while we chatted.
Thank God he went to sleep. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
For
we
real.
had
This
I
was
mean,
awesome.
I'm thrilled to death to have had you guys here and got to know you a little deeper and better. And if you have a live, then let me come over there and chit chat with your audience as well sometime.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
We'll tell you guys again. I hate to cut this chat off, but I have to respect your time because the numbers are growing. There's 46 people now, so it's although it seems counterintuitive to cut it off, I've kept you for 2 hours and 10 minutes that I really appreciate. God bless you guys so much for watching, and stick around for just a second if you wouldn't mind, Derek and Jasmine. But God bless you guys. Remember, you guys say it with me, okay? Treat your business like your business. See you guys.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.